It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, here we go. On a Thursday. Rothman and Ice. Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes. The loose cannon at the switches. Boys, good to see you.
It's great to see you, my man. How you feeling over there? You good?
Feeling just fine.
Good.
Nice and comfortable, cool in the studio today.
Yeah, it's
Hope everybody
here.
out there is dodging the heat.
Ice, good to see you.
It's good to see you, Tress. My guy. Good to see you. I'm here, live and in the flesh,
I'd love for
baby.
you to bump right into him somewhere. All right, so we're going to have a nice show today, hopefully. I know you'll all be the judge of that.
Yeah.
Stephen Means, Cleveland.com, come up at 12:30. Natron Means, affectionately on this show. Yes, we will attempt to go to Spain and talk to Adam King. Why? Because he wants us to.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I heard Bake and Reese talking about, Rimmer and King and these guys out of the country that are calling in. And let's just all call it real. It's two guys that probably really want to be heard,
It's
right?
not dedication, is it love for the game?
I don't know if it's that. I think it's please call me. They had some listener or a chat or somebody asked them about traveling from Chi-Town to Cincy, about like where can they get the best burger.
Okay, yeah.
And Reese looks at Bake and goes, do you have any suggestions for him, along the way, big fella? Or in Cincinnati? And Bake didn't really have any specific place. And then he drops who used to have or has the best burger? And he said Hooters. And I was in the other studio listening, and I laughed out loud thinking, yeah, that's what he was going there for. Let's all go find the best burger. It just so happens to be at Hooters.
Well, I've always, to back my boy Bake Show on this, I have always said the #1 place for wings for me in my power rankings has been and always will be Hooters. Okay. We used to go there every Wednesday in high school for all-you-could-eat wings, and they are absolutely tremendous. So I see the vision from Brian Baker right there. I understand what he is saying.
Basically what he was saying and what you're saying now is the greatest restaurant in the history of time for burgers, wings, and everything else is Hooters.
There you go.
Okay.
And I think there is a Hooters that's still standing south of us on your way to Cincinnati. I think it may be in the Dayton area.
There's one in Mason.
There you go.
Okay.
About an hour and some change away.
Mm-hmm. Stop in, get a burger, see some tennis.
There's one in Mason. There is one in Dayton as well if you head out west. Not that I've been scouting this or anything. But, AR, nobody said why nobody cares why we went there. It just, the burger was delicious. I mean, it doesn't matter what the reasoning for stepping inside was.
I didn't think you went there for the burgers. Oh, so what you're saying is you really didn't go there for the burger. That's just an added bonus.
Listen, it's a definite bonus. But once you've had it, it doesn't matter why you go, but once you find out it's good, sometimes you're going to go just for that.
So, AR,
good answer.
You didn't believe Lou Williams when he left the bubble a couple years ago and said, I was just going to Magic City to get the wings in Atlanta. Remember that when he left? You weren't buying that?
No.
He wasn't going there for the lemon peppers?
No, I wasn't.
Maybe not the first time, but subsequent trips, maybe so.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well done, my man. It's a great suggestion for he and his kids. It was a nice suggestion, and I think that.
Did you never have the burger there? It was delicious back in the day.
No,
I believe you.
I haven't. I wasn't sure whether you were going there for the track shorts or the burgers. I wasn't sure.
Hey, Maddie knows this. There used to be one right down the road from us when we were running the mean streets of Whitehall together. And we would get off work when I think you were still a student then, but us teachers, we would get off of work and we'd hit up the happy hour. You could get 20 wings and 3 beverages for like $13.
Look at that.
Well, I couldn't beat it.
Look at that.
Zach, I'm happy for you that they haven't faded away completely. You seem to have the location scouted like I have the Smoothie Kings along the way. And so that's nice to know.
Is that what I have to look forward to, AR, in about 10 years?
Running a Hooters, maybe running. Yes.
I'm going to be
Why did Smoothie Kings suddenly become like the old man's thing? Why is that? I once ran into last year or a couple years ago. I ran into who was there? Which quarterback was it?
I got it ready.
I can't remember.
Which quarterback did you run into?
See, I'm not going to let you do it. No, see, you're not supposed to be able to do that. I didn't say a name.
Yeah, the flex.
I'm just saying there was an Ohio State quarterback that I ran into at Smoothie King.
Yeah, Baker, just so
it's
you
not-
know. That's the hold on, yeah. Wait, I just heard that second part. I ran into an Ohio State quarterback at a Smoothie King. So, Baker, that's a flex gone.
And do we really think that he just ran into him, or he was like, "Hey, let's meet up together. You're my guy.
So,
I
Baker-
want to have a smoothie with Anthony Rothman."
Baker, let me
You guys are nuts.
We're doing a new joke on the show. It's only a couple weeks young. And so whenever somebody flexes, like when Matty Ice might say, like, "Oh, I can't go to work, I'm golfing with DeVere today."
That a flex? He knows, dude. They're buds.
I mean,
We're
this,
all buds.
this stemmed from Rothman a couple weeks ago talking about people that actually know more than me in the
It
NHL.
was
you
about.
know?
Why are you pointing at him? That was about betting hockey.
It was a good call.
That's what
But it was
came
about
from.
betting hockey. It wasn't about.
There was one day for sure where you mentioned I was talking to a former NHL coach
I
last night.
was, and I gave some information on
Fired
it.
up again, Undertaker.
You guys are nuts. Why did see what happened here was he couldn't just see he had a good answer to the Hooters thing, and I told him he had a good answer, but he couldn't just say goodnight, everybody.
Well,
he had to somehow flip the table because he couldn't leave without trying to flip it.
You
Right?
know how we do around here. You got to give it back. He's got to send the tennis
right.
ball back across
Flip
the
it.
net to you.
Flipping the table on the tax collectors. That's what I do. Hey, I got a meeting to go to. So
Oh,
Get
yeah,
out.
very busy here.
Get out
Gotta
of here.
go. Very busy.
Go get
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Go get that
Gotta
burger.
go.
Go
Got
get
a
that.
meeting.
Go get
Gotta
that
go
burger.
watch some more girls softball and break it down for 3 hours. Please get after it.
Hey, somebody
my
won a state
goodness.
championship. It's a big deal.
We kid because
And
we
Baker
care.
was on the call.
Listen, we don't ask everybody to stick around. So take it as a compliment.
Johnny Carson didn't invite every comedian to his couch.
You know, there's a
How should the other
there's a
guys take
great-
it when we don't ask them to stick around?
It's like Pete Rose betting on baseball. What about the games you didn't bet on? Did you know something? No. That, by the way, that was a nice little take. By the way, First of all, I can't believe you even said Johnny Carson. That's pretty amazing. That's old school.
Yeah.
And then
Thank you.
other thing is so Kevin Pollak, actor, comedian, impressionist, great all around versatile dude. He mentioned years ago that Johnny Carson loved an impression he did, but he was not going to be able to go over to the couch to just do his act, and then leave. And he wanted to make sure he had arrived before he got to the couch. That was a very good call.
Good job, TLC.
Yeah.
Here's a couple things that you may have learned already. You want to really get the AR's heart. There's a few things you can do. One, adopt a dog. That will absolutely win you over for years and years to come with AR. Two is land an old school movie quote. Recognize a movie quote that he throws out there. Something in history close to his heart. That's how you win over AR. You do those things and help him win a fantasy championship, and then you're really win.
If that can happen, although I'm really kind of done on it. I'll probably – you and I talked about this, and I think even he did. Are we just bailing? We doing our own thing? Are we going live golf
Here's
here?
what I will say.
I'm not taking your place if you guys leave the league, by the way.
If I didn't participate this year, I don't think I would have FOMO. I don't think I would miss it. I don't. I love everyone in the league, but this league is a grind. 14 teams.
Oh, no.
See, there you go. From an outsider,
Why did you say, oh, no? Because
finding enough...
then the waiver wire doesn't really mean anything?
No, I'm thinking just immediate thought, running backs. Running backs are hard to find.
Yeah.
You do
Putting
that.
together two good running backs in a 12-team league,
Unless you're AR.
spreading that talent out even further.
Those were awesome last year.
There's
AR's running backs were really good last year.
But there's no
Last
way that you
year-
can come out of the draft in a 14-team league and go, oh, I feel great about this team.
I
You're
think-
going to be looking like, man, I had to reach for a bunch of people.
There's definitely-
Maddie, I think last year, of all the years, have soured me so much. Think about, can we equate this in like sports terms of getting close and not winning or thinking you had it all or getting up? You know what it is? It's
You're the Bills.
You're the
number
Atlanta
one
Falcons,
seed.
28-3.
That's what it.
You're the
That's what it
Falcons.
kind of felt like.
Yeah.
But it also felt like even different. It felt like that you had the roster to win and you didn't. And what it became for me is a season that might have been. And I think that's the title of my book, A Season That Might Have Been.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
I cannot. I can't keep drafting the latest, greatest tight end that works out. I can't find that quarterback or the running back that drops.
Well, the tight end stuff that you've been cooking is absolutely wild. How you've gone Brock Bowers last year and the year before that, Sam Laporta. And we still don't have a ring for you.
And we don't have a ring.
Know, I'm going to call us out, though, because we sat back and we heard Trey Hendrickson say, it's easy in May to say, week 1, I'm not showing up. I think it's easy for us back into June to say, that fantasy football thing, we're good. The itch is going to come back.
When the preseason games are going.
Exactly. We're like, oh, man.
See,
we're getting close to the goods,
we usually
baby.
have, like when CB was doing the show and he was in the league, we kind of looked at it as we had 3 bullets in the chamber. We're all going to probably make the playoffs, although I don't think
CB would have let us get a share of his title. I think you and I, if we won it, it would have been like, you know what?
Oh,
good job.
It's the show's victory.
CB would have been like, you guys can kick rocks.
That would have been the orange and fudge victory, not you guys.
My championship.
All right.
I remember because I was filling in actually as producer on the day that you guys held the draft lottery in that studio to open the show.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was you and Vegas, because Vegas was in.
Okay. Oh, yes, and we put pressure on Pavs live on the air, Deloitte and Touche, to pull the names.
Yeah.
And then everybody in this entire office was listening.
Scotty, of course, had a great pick. He was like top 4, top 3.
See, that's what we're talking about. It's easy to say this now,
right?
But when the lottery's about to happen,
we're back.
Yeah,
we're back.
I don't know. Maybe we just maybe one team is more powerful than 3. Maybe the 3 of us go in as one team. The Rothman and I, that's it.
I'm down.
And we pour it all in there, and we have our war room, and maybe we just
take the money, go to a nice dinner, all 3 of us.
Just sink
Hooters.
Definitely, yes. At Ryan Baker's Hooters.
Yeah.
At how that used to be Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
Uh-huh.
It'll be Baker's Hooters Restaurant. That's what it'll be. Baker's Hooters Burgers. Oh, man. There you go. Come for the food.
Mm-hmm.
Stay for the track shorts. I think that was always his slogan. All right, so the other thing that we'll get in some fun draft stories last night. We'll get deep into the weeds on the NBA draft, but there were some fun moments we'll talk about. And next, we'll switch back to college football and the repeat. Speaking of big topics around here, how likely is it? We'll examine it next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Save big on 18-ounce containers of blueberries or 12-ounce containers of raspberries. Right now, they're only $3.77 each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Hey, it's Anthony. Comfort is king. We all strive for it, but life gets in the way. You know that. And oh, my aching feet is not just a cliche. That's why the Good Feet store, in my opinion, has the best arch support solutions engineered to help you and me live the life we love without pain. For more than 30 years, they've taken great pleasure in helping thousands discover the comfort they've been dreaming of. I'm a customer. I have their 3-step system put right into all my shoes. They support, balance, and strengthen my feet and really guide them right into their ideal position. Every step I take, every move I make, I get relief. Not from the song, although I love that, but from my personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store. Your free fitting is designed to help them understand you, your pain, and your discomfort, your personalized system. You'll walk out wearing your new arch supports hassle-free and begin living the life you love without pain. The Good Feet store on Stringtown Road in Grove City or Polaris Parkway. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
Need a new heating or cooling system? Booking a free in-home estimate with Logan Services is easier than ever. In just minutes, you can schedule your appointment on our website. It's fast, simple, and hassle-free. Book a time that works best for you. We offer appointments throughout the week and on weekends. And next-day installation is available now. When you need help, we're here for you. We're the home of fast, friendly service, Logan Services.
Bob Yoakum, president of Rockford Homes, explains why he banks with First Bank of Central Ohio.
Anytime you're dealing with a local bank, it's about being able to pick up the phone and talk to real people. That is a huge pro. You know, when you get into these bigger banks, that doesn't happen.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
If it feels like the hockey season just ended, that's because it did. But it's time for the draft, baby. Join Bob and Dylan live from Nationwide for the Jackets Draft Show.
Sponsored by Ohio Health.
Friday night at 6 on The Fan.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Does heel pain make you hobble just getting out of bed in the morning? If heel pain is affecting your ability to exercise and meet your walking or running goals, relief is as close as your local podiatrist. Podiatric physicians are highly trained doctors who specialize in medical and surgical treatment of the foot and ankle. Ohio Foot and Ankle podiatric physicians are available across the state and are devoted to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care.
For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Hey, it's Anthony for my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. Summer savings, Rich is backing it up. He has rates as low as 0% and leases starting from $249 a month. How about a 25 Honda HR-V LX CVT two-wheel drive? Lease it for only $259 a month. 36 months, 30,000 miles with only $30.39 down. And all trades deserve a sweetener. He's giving you an extra $1,000 for yours. See them for all the details. Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We are on Mother Nature's greatest hits on replay as we see yet again today. Mostly to partly sunny skies with our temperatures in the low 90s and feels like approaching 100 degrees. We will also yet again have that chance for showers and storms to pop up into the afternoon and early evening, some which could have heavy downpours. For tonight, 70s overnight, and then for Friday, very similar again, low 90s, feels like approaching 100 with chances of storms developing in the afternoon. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony can follow direction very well, as long as he first prints out MapQuest. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, Stephen Means, we'll talk Buckeyes with him bottom of the hour. We'll talk Buckeyes a little bit now because I was thinking about, coming off a national title, and this doesn't happen very often, repeating. But you have to remember, we're now in the expansion era. I remember having this conversation with Bo at the very beginning when the BCS went to the 4. And we debated harder, easier, the same to win a title if you're Ohio State when you expand and have to win 2 games versus 1. And now they had to win 4, which was incredible, the gauntlet. And you wouldn't want to have to try to attempt that every year. Health reasons, to try to stay healthy, Maddie. But the momentum you build is real, and they had it last year. My contention is, and was back then, that it would be easier to win a title in the expanded era because I'm a big at-bat guy. There aren't going to be many years, if any, that Ohio State will not be in this tournament.
Right.
And I said before last year season, Ohio State may be the last team you want to see circling back with 2 losses. And it's exactly what happened. And that's not I'm just revisiting what I thought at the moment. And I want to get your opinion on this. Bo thought it would be harder at the time because you have to beat more good teams. My contention is if we can all agree that Ohio State's always going to have top-tier talent, always. Some years will be a little different than others at different positions. Yeah. But they'll always have top-tier talent. There will never be a year that Ohio State won't have access to the top prospects in this country and nail down a lot of them. And so I always believed that Ohio State with equal talent would always have a chance to win, obviously. And now repeating, while, yes, the road can be harder because you have to beat more teams, perhaps, but I look at this as you take that talent into a tournament, you've got as good of a chance as any. And I think repeating, I'm not saying about this year, Maddie. I'm just saying repeating in general, I think may become easier for 2 reasons. One, the one I just said. If you have top-tier talent, you're always going to have a chance. You lose one game in the last era, you may be out.
It's tough, yeah. Uphill climb.
And then the other part about it is this. In the NIL era, keeping your talent, while it's hard because you have to pay them, you can keep them. Ryan Day's talked about all the guys that could have gone, that came back. Now, what did they come back for? Many different reasons, but one big one easily could be the financial compensation. So if you have top-tier talent, you're most likely always going to be a top 12 team, and you have now the ability to retain your talent. My contention is that repeating is going to be possible more now than it ever was before.
So we're definitely in a new era, and there's a lot of change that's probably still on the way when it comes to the playoff format and what that looks like and the seeding and 14 teams, 16 teams, all that stuff is going to be down the road here a little bit. But where we are now, history tells us that it's rare that programs do repeat and go back-to-back. We saw Georgia do it back in 2021 and 2022, but before then, you got to go back to Alabama in 2011 and 2012. They were the last program to do it prior to Georgia getting it done. And then you got to go all the way back to the mid-90s, I believe, to where Nebraska did it. And so this isn't a thing that we see a lot in college football.
What was USC? Were they
a program that got
because I think it got vacated. But I think it got accounted.
No, in 2003, there were 3 different undefeateds. And
they were co-champs.
It was LSU, Oklahoma. It was one of the rare cases where the BCS and the AP didn't align.
Yeah.
And so that's what that was.
But wouldn't you consider them back-to-back champs, even though 2004 got vacated?
They didn't play in the championship game.
All right.
So I got to say no.
Okay. Big picture stuff, AR. We don't see it a ton, right? We really don't. You mentioned the talent that Ohio State is going to have. There's no doubt that they are one of the handful of programs around the sport that's going to have one of the best rosters year in and year out. I think last year's team, though, was a rare breed of a roster. It was the perfect blend of everything you could want. It was the experience and a bunch of it on both sides of the ball. And then baked into that, was a phenom freshman in Caleb Downs and some other guys that made some noise. I don't know how often that roster is going to come around for Ohio State or really any program around college football. Those are, I think, very, very rare instances where we're going to see that. I think the team that we're going to see this year, no doubt, is going to have a chance to do it. I happen to think, though, with the playoff format, when you get deeper and deeper into that thing, those rosters start to equal out just a little bit. And I think it does seem to me that it's more challenging now to do it because of the at-bats and more teams having a swipe at you and then the injuries and all that. But also when you do see the likes of a Texas, the likes of a Georgia and Clemson and some of these programs that we know are one-of-one programs, like that when it comes down to the finite things in games where the talent is equal, the penalties and just all the things that go into those games, I actually think it's a little tougher now.
Okay. No, and I certainly see that point because if you're just talking about it from a numbers game, having to win more than one is more difficult, especially if you're not facing if you're not a top seed or facing a Boise or facing an SMU and just feel like the talent is overwhelmingly in your favor. So I definitely see it both ways. I'm just a big fan of if I know I'm probably in, then I have a better shot, I believe, than in all those years ago with the BCS where if you just didn't show up or somebody got you that day and you didn't get a chance to play in it. And I just go back to the 90s because I do feel like a couple of those Ohio State teams that suffered those losses, those tough losses, whether it's to Michigan State or Michigan, if those teams got a chance to circle back with the talent that I remember them having.
What would they have done?
What would they have done?
Yeah.
And it's not a team you'd want to see. Right. It really wouldn't be. Now, you bring up a great point that I talked about also with Tress last Friday. And that this Ohio State team, and I said this to him just like 02. I said, because he was talking about the adversity that they were coming out of and all that. And I said, I think you guys had one big thing in common with this year. I said, it's such an advantage when you have great talent and you're also doubted. Like, that's such a rare recipe to have. And they were doubted not for who they were, but who they were playing in Miami. Where this team, I think, was doubted for who they were coming off Michigan.
Yeah.
And so there were two different doubts, but nothing changed as far as knowing what they were talent-wise.
I hear you, and I agree with you. I also think it takes a special team from the neck up to handle the emotion the way that they did.
That leadership,
right?
Sure.
Like, you just talk about guys that really didn't flinch coming out of the Michigan game, and it took them some time to let those wounds heal a little bit. They had to, because it was all about turning the page and playing for a national championship, which we know now they obviously did. But the mental makeup of a team, I think, is important, too, when you have to go on a run like that, especially when you are crawling out of some adversity the way that they did. I just think it was the perfect storm of everything, even outside of the roster that they had, the coaching staff that they had. I mean, you had a guy in Chip Kelly who had been there and done that. Jim Knowles is a seasoned guy and was around the same players for a few years. So it was just a great pot and a great blend of everything you could want for one roster. Now you look at what they have this year, and there's a lot of new. And so we know that it is a talented batch of new players, but that experience isn't there the way that it was a year ago. And I can't wait to see how they handle adversity if and when it comes.
Yeah. And then once you give amazing talent momentum and confidence again, and they got it so fast against Tennessee that it became a runaway train.
Yeah.
As far as the likelihood or not, Vegas says that, first of all, the winner of the opener becomes the overwhelming favorite out of the, like, whoever wins the Texas-Ohio State game vaults. So if you like either one of them right now, and I don't know where their odds would go, like Ohio State's 5-1 to win the title right now, and Texas is on Bet365. Texas is actually 4.5 to 1. So Texas is taking the slight betting favorite, but whoever wins that game probably drops to 3 to 1. Immediately, I would think.
I see that. I absolutely see that there. And I think, too, that the winner of that Clemson-Georgia game as well
100%
will get a big jolt up to the top two in the odds. Because I think a lot of Vegas.
You think Clemson would jump all the way?
Not over one of Ohio State or Texas, but I think the winner of that game will be right there, second, third best odds, if they aren't already to start the year. But I think there's some people out there that like Clemson, and if Clemson wins that game against Georgia, the buzz and the hype will really be on.
We'll talk to our man, Stephen Means, Cleveland.com, in 2 minutes. Get his take on the Ohio State depth chart going into this year and the likelihood of being the last team standing again. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds, through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy. And from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Hi, it's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One of my favorite things, Wilson, is the look on people's faces when they see the end price for Pella windows.
Yeah, I'm always hearing, does it look like I'm wearing my money britches?
More like, I can't believe we get the Pella look and quality at these prices.
Oh, you went the other way with that. You're hearing good things. Oh, this is awkward.
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
The biggest thriller this summer is blockbuster savings at Coughlin Chevrolet. Lease a new 2025 Chevy Trax for $159 a month. A new 2026 Chevy Equinox, only $259 a month. Or a new 2025 Silverado, lease for $359 a month. This month only at Coughlin Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
36-month lease with $39.99 due at signing, plus tax, title, and license. 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents per mile over. See dealer for details. N63025.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up, knuckleheads? You're listening to Rothman and Ice on The Fan. It's not terrible.
Not anymore. Not that we have. Now that we have Stephen Means on the air with us. That always gets a nice boost, knuckleheads. Our man Natron, Cleveland.com, covering the Buckeyes like nobody else, always has time for us on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fangast Hotline. Stephen, good to have you back, bud.
Good to be here, guys.
Likelihood of Ohio. Give me a quick answer on this. Like knee-jerk, don't think about it too long. Likelihood of Ohio State being the last team standing again.
Ooh.
So you're thinking
repeating is hard, but I'll say that's a hard thing to answer quickly. High.
Just like you think it is high. Okay.
Yeah, I think if they're one of the last four standing, if I'm allowed to do that, then high.
Where will your mind go? Well, you see, I can't transport you to seeing the game, right? That's the difference. We can't just go based on results. I can't say, well, what if they beat Texas or what if they lose to Texas? Because then you'll say, well, what happened in the game? How'd it look? Did they squeak by or lose a high-scoring deal? But, you know, Maddie and I were talking about now that you know you're in the expanded era and you know that Ohio State's got top 12 talent every year and you're getting that at bat every year, you're getting in that tournament, you have to kind of separate from what Maddie said earlier, and we've talked about, like, this was such a special team. The hunger, the doubting, hadn't won anything, coach on the hot seat, coming off another Michigan loss. Just there was so much pent-up anger, and they were able to channel it for good. And so where's your confidence in the leadership of this team, and does it depend on how great the quarterback becomes?
Growing by the day. I think, obviously, when you see guys just walking around and you hear stuff and you talk with people, it's growing, right? They're obviously – the faces of Ohio State football are changing drastically this year than what we have known them to be since Ryan Day became the head coach. They've been synonymous with Jack Sawyer, Denzel Bird, JT Tuimoloau, Travion Henderson, and Mecca. But like, that era is gone. And so this is the first time since Ryan Day became the head coach where we're on to essentially a new book of Ohio State football. And yes, they've got Jeremiah Smith, who might be not actually from this planet. We're just not sure about it yet. But he has to grow in that area. He is not the most talkative, rah-rah leader guy. He has to grow into that area. Caleb Downs might be the best NFL draft prospect in the country, yes, but he has to grow into being a leader. Austin Saravel seems to be growing as well. But the thing I like about this era is they can do that while not feeling like they're living in a pressure cooker every single week. Last year, I think, was the ultimate pressure cooker, but also the last of its kind. Because as you mentioned, win or lose August 30th, neither Steve Sarkisian or Ryan Day is going to walk out of Ohio Stadium thinking, oh, no, our season is over before we can even get off the ground.
Yeah, no, that's real. That's no doubt real. You know, yesterday we were reacting to Athlon Sports put out their preseason All-American team, and Carnell Tate was on one of those teams. And, Stephen, he's just such an intriguing guy for me because, you know, there's always these guys now to where they really have that level up, whether it's year 2 to year 3, year 1 to year 2, whatever it may look like. And I just feel like Carnell is going to be that guy. We know Jeremiah, like you said, is not from this planet with how great he is, but the outlook for Carnell Tate in your eyes, what does that look like in 2025?
Yeah, he's such a unique guy, right? Because I think people typically in Carnell's position, especially in the Ryan Day era, since Brian Hartline became the wide receiver, typically going into your third year as a wide receiver here is kind of like okay, you got 14 more games max before you get to go pro. And that might be true of Carnell, but he's not nearly as established as maybe Garrett and Chris were going into 2021. Jackson Smith-Njigba was going into 2022. Marvin and Emeka going into 2023, and Emeka again when he had to come back because of injuries in 2024. He is still in that, okay, there's another level to get to, but because it's Brian Hartline, because he's an Ohio State wide receiver who was highly rated, and we can chalk it up to the reason he didn't have 1,000 yards last year is because of the alien and the captain who was just the 19th pick in the NFL draft. It's safe for us to all assume, Carnell's going to be awesome, and he's going to be a first-round draft pick in April, because there's no reason to think otherwise, but we still need to see it. But we all have full confidence that the only difference between this year and last year is more opportunity, and Carnell will take full advantage of it, because that's just been the norm now with wide receivers here, is if you give them the opportunity, they take advantage of it, and then they're hearing Roger Goodell say their name.
Let's flip to the defense real fast and what you're hearing and the coaches you talk to about the addition of Bo Atkinson and the impact he can make.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they needed a defensive end. I think Kenyatta Jackson and Caden Curry and maybe C.J. Hicks takes a step. That would have been quality. But it does seem like with the way that they've constructed this defense, the fact that they didn't go get a defensive tackle and they went and got a guy like Bo Atkinson, who I saw him walking around the Woody a little bit earlier this month. He is like not a small human being at all. and then when you see guys in person and you put 6'4", 6'5", and 240 in person, it just looks very, very different. I think with Bo Atkinson, what you have with Kenyatta Jackson, what you have with Edric Houston as a guy who can play inside and outside, and Caden McDonald, we might see some different fronts this year. I know Ohio State for 20 years has been, we're going to play 4-down defensive linemen, but that might not be the case this year. And with a guy like Bo, and with a guy like Edric, and a guy like Kenyatta, you've got some versatility for what Matt Patricia might be able to do up front with this defense.
Did you see enough from Sonny Styles last year to think in your mind that he could have that Cody Simon type of impact this year, both as a player and as a leader?
Am I allowed to say yes while also thinking he might not be their best linebacker? Can two things be true?
I think they can, yeah.
Because, yes, I do. Cody Simon had 100 tackles last year, and they started using these linebackers as weapons in the postseason in a way that, okay.
Should we guess?
In year two.
Should we guess who you're thinking of?
Yes, you can.
By not be, so he just said, can I say it without thinking he's their best, Matty? Who is he?
Arvell Reese.
Was it the kid? I mentioned Arvell Reese yesterday as a guy that could become a household name. Is that who you were thinking of?
Yeah, I think Arvell Reese might be a dog. I genuinely think he might be a dog. He looks like a dude who's going to be an awesome NFL player. And he flashed at times last year, but it seems like going back to the spring, some things have clicked for him. And Cody Simon was a very good football player here, and he was a wonderful leader here, and he was, I think, a day 3 draft pick. He was a quality football player here. But this is Ohio State, and it seems like another one of those examples at Ohio State where the guy who started the year before was very, very good, but the guy behind him is so doggone good that you don't even miss the guy who just left. And I think we might have a situation like that on our hands where, remember, James Laurinaitis took over for A.J. Hawk, right? And A.J. Hawk was awesome. And then James Laurinaitis turned into a 3-time All-American, and now James Laurinaitis is running this room. I'm not saying Arvell Reese is about to be a 3-time All-American, but if we get to November and Arvell Reese is one of the 7 best linebackers in college football, that is not going to shock me in the slightest.
Good stuff, my man. Always enjoy our conversations. Stay cool. We'll talk to you soon.
Anytime, guys. Thanks.
Stephen Means, Cleveland.com, covering Ohio State. He was on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. All right, he said, highly likely for a Final Four. But see, Matty, I tried to get him. See, maybe I shouldn't have said, don't think, because then I put that in his mind.
Then he had to think.
It was too long. We would have hit if we had a buzzer,
right?
He would have been buzzed.
There's no clock. It was a shot clock violation. Yeah. It was a shot clock violation.
We had to go to the tape to see if it left his hands. Right. We don't like to do that to guests, though. Like,
I know.
Especially right out of the gate. Like, if you would have buzzed him, like, for taking too much time.
Yeah, don't think about it. Who do you think is going to be the...
Right. Don't think about it.
How far do you think
right.
they're going to go?
Yeah.
Well,
is
that how we want to welcome a guest on the show?
You got the James clip over there when you ask him a question?
Hang on.
How he really...
Let me get this for you.
In the meantime.
Any kind of deep...
That alarm clock went off a long time ago.
Well,
You go to the next subject.
That's your boy, Sapp. Here's what he was talking about.
Yeah, I mean...
James,
That's what that...
James, what do you want for dinner tonight?
Yeah, I mean...
James, do you like chocolate chip cookies?
Yeah, I mean...
Let me tell you this. I'll have to find it, but I had you guys will laugh. In my little array here that I've built, I have a Psy 1 and a Psy 2. That's Psy 2.
I don't think I've ever heard Psy 1.
I don't know if Psy 1 was as good, but it was something. And I hope I didn't, like, record over it. But if I find, I'll put him back in there.
Psy.
Yeah, him sighing.
I mean...
That. Him sighing. What do you think we meant?
In my mind, I was thinking like CY, like Cy Young.
Oh.
I'm like...
Cyborg.
Yes.
We come back. Don Waddell was at a mic talking about how he wants to improve his hockey team. You'll hear it next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
Bands are us. When dreams don't get in, bands are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
Bands are us. When dreams don't get in, bands are us.
Hi, I'm Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers.
And I'm his very overpaid celebrity endorser, Common Man. Bob, I heard somewhere, actually from you many, many times, that Worthington Jewelers is where Columbus gets engaged.
It's too bad you and Timmy can't engage the audience.
Good zing, Bob.
If you're thinking of popping the question, there's only one place to go.
Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington. WorthingtonJewelers.com. Tell them Common Man sent you.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
Join the Reds when they face the Padres June 27th through the 29th for Big Red Machine 50th Anniversary Reunion Weekend presented by PNC. Take part in special activations with Big Red Machine players all weekend long, including meet and greets at the Reds Hall of Fame and Museum. On Saturday, fans in attendance will receive a Big Red Machine 50th Anniversary cap thanks to FanDuel Sports Network while supplies last. Get your tickets now at reds.com/tickets.
Now open at Zoombezi Bay, the all-new conservation tower. It's the only place you'll find the Hive, a world's first water slide with wild 720-degree beehive spin. Muscle Mayhem, a Midwest first with intense drops and twists. And Captina Falls, a head-first racing slide like nothing you've ever seen. 3 slides, 1 tower, endless thrills. Conservation Tower is now open, only at
Zoombezi Bay.
Plan your visit today at ZoombeziBay.com.
Common Man here. Let me tell you something. I'm on these Germain inter-office emails. At Germain Lexus, during the month of June, they've challenged themselves to sell more cars than they ever have in 1 month. What does that mean? Well, I'm stupid, but to me, that means they're willing to deal, baby. And the memorial cars are on the lot. The ones the golfers drive for the tournament are now available to you. I've been a Germain customer for years, even before I started doing the commercials. If you're in the market, please stop in. Germain Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, GermainLexus.com.
This promo is for anyone who likes baseball or America or Terry Francona's scooter. The Reds are on the Fan. Catch all 162 games here on the Fan and 1460 ESPN Columbus and the Fan's HD2. Your home for Reds baseball, the Fan.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC, powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing your schedule, responding to Jim's long emails, leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC starting at $749.99 at Dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
With Progressive Customer Service, there are lots of ways to connect with us, so you never have to miss a second of your favorite sport. Because you'd much rather watch a ball go through a net 124 times in 48 minutes when you don't really have to pay attention until the last two, and then somehow those 2 minutes will take an hour. You don't want to miss all that. Luckily, you can chat with Progressive on our app, online, or over the phone without missing a single one of those times the ball goes through the metal circle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Maddie ranked the most dynamic duo of all time, Caesar Salad and Moscow Mule. This is Rothman and Ice.
A little programming note. 10 TV's Adam King will join us, attempt to join us at 1:30 from Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're probably asking the question, why? And that would be a really good question. And I don't have a good answer for you. Just feel like he may be able to offer something about Spain. I've never been.
Me either.
You haven't been?
No.
Maybe a lot of our listeners haven't been. Maybe he can tell us how to not do Spain on a budget, because you know that's exactly what he's not doing.
He ain't balling on a budget?
No.
He's just balling.
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah. He's probably walking around the town square in some double monk strap loafer with no socks, pants that are way too short.
Glass of Chardonnay.
Yes.
Yeah, pinky up while he's drinking it. That's AK right there.
Yeah.
Mispronouncing a bunch of Spanish words.
Thinking he's saying it correctly with confidence.
Saying whole lot to everybody who walks by him.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be testifying to the very best Airbnbs in Barcelona, but we'll find out. Maybe. If he decides that he needs a break.
He's going to be doing a bunch of Spanglish, like, excuse me,
yes.
Where is the baño?
Where, yes. Speak slower and louder.
Yeah.
Just
where is the baño?
Exactly. They'll understand it more or not. Maddie, Don Waddell was at the podium today.
Okay, the big
Love
Don.
the big Don.
Love him, yeah.
Love the fact that he's a little more candid than most GMs the night before the draft, so you can understand maybe where his mind is. Mm-hmm. And I heard him say this morning that, they have picks 14 and 20. So here's the good news. The good news is this is the first time in 5 years they're not picking in the top 10. Now, some of you may say, well, that's bad news. You want to be. Yes, when it comes to draft night, the higher pick is better.
Depends on how you want to look at it.
How you want to look at it. But they've always been up. Okay, so now they were close, didn't get in, and now they're not picking in the top 10. And so they've got 14, 20, and then they get to the third round tomorrow. And we'll do even more with Coach Dino tomorrow.
Love it.
We'll find out a little bit from a coach's perspective.
Can't wait, Bart Scott.
Where his mindset is.
We talked to Coach Evanson prior to the season starting.
At camp.
Great dude, man. Just a great guy. You got to really be happy for a guy like that with the success that they had in the midst of just everything going on. But there does seem like that there's some positivity around this hockey franchise right now, which is great with the on-the-ice stuff and where they can be in a couple years with the core that they have. And you mentioned the 2 first-round picks. Will they make selections there tomorrow, or will they make some moves?
My gut is that if he really could hand design this, which he's trying to do, that he will not want to make those picks. Not both of them.
Sell them.
Yes.
Yeah.
He wants to improve this hockey team. Let's hear what he had to say about that.
On that exact topic?
Well, on this weekend, how he's approaching this.
Sure thing.
Well, I've said all along, I think there's a couple of areas that we'd like to be deeper and better, up front and on the back end. Obviously, if we signed all our own guys, we were pretty comfortable how we ended the season with that group. So we're pretty open to any position, to be honest with you. And we will look at, and we have looked at, I would love to be able to show you guys this book I keep on all the conversations, because I write everything down, and it's pages of players, either mostly obviously through trades, and then of course you got the free agent list. But I feel comfortable that we're going to be able to do a few things that are going to make our hockey team better, and that's our goal. And you got to remember, it doesn't stop on July 1st either, because there's a few guys that we signed later on, JBR, guys that played, had a pretty good impact with our hockey club last year.
No doubt about it. The interesting part is when he says he's open on all positions. And he wasn't, I don't think he was asked point blank on the Zoom today about the goalie situation. Mm-hmm. So if you start going through this a little bit, he's not going to be able to move Elvis, I don't think, without really finding a way to retain a lot of that salary. It just seems a little off to me. I'm not saying he's trying to do it. I'm not saying he's not trying to do it. I think that he said earlier the buyout was probably not going to happen. Maybe he'd be packaged into a trade or something like that. But if he's open to all positions and he's got all these pages of players he just talked about that he's looking, some have already signed elsewhere. But the fact that he admitted today that he could have moved both these picks already. He just didn't quite feel good enough about the move.
The return, yeah.
So that tells you at least where his mindset is on what he may want to do.
Yeah, and I cannot wait and maybe he mentioned it today and I just haven't heard it or seen it floating around yet. What's going to happen with Jet Greaves, AR? Because what we saw from him in those, I believe, handful of games in April, he was lights out for the most part. And that's a very small sample size. We've seen him in other spots, but when it was really a chance for him to grab a hold of the steering wheel and, take us home, he did a good job of that. So how much belief do they have in-house over there that he can be their guy? If you do have both Jet and Elvis on your day one starting roster in the fall, how does that work out if you're Dean Evanson? And maybe that's something we can ask him tomorrow, how he feels about that, if that, situation is presented to him as a head coach. But Jet had to infuse confidence, not only in the team, but in the front office as well. Do they feel like if they can find a partner for Elvis in that contract, do they have that amount of confidence, a high-end amount of confidence in Jet Greaves to be their guy? That's going to be interesting to see.
My gut is that they have confidence in him that he can become a big-time pro goalie, but they're not there yet, I wouldn't think. Not after 11 games. He was wonderful. Save percentage was off the chart. He was great. He deserves a chance. My feeling is if they were able to move Elvis, it would be to get a high-floor veteran goalie that they could pair with Jet. Yeah. And have that tandem going in. Because then you'd feel like if you had a veteran goalie that you didn't feel like you had to play a ton of games, the majority, but not a ton, and then you could have Jet and develop Jet still and grow that way. Because to me, putting this team, saying to Jet Greaves, this is your team or this is your chance to be your team, might be a little too much right now. He's very good. Just not big. Mm-hmm. How would he hold up over a big, long season playing all those games? He caught lightning in a bottle, and it was great, and it almost got him really close. But that's it. It's a thin market. You got to find a vet. I wouldn't be surprised. I'll never be surprised if he drafts a goalie tomorrow. If a really good goalie drops to 20, I would not be surprised at all, or even 14. Mm-hmm. Because I heard it in his voice today. Like, his eyes almost, lit up, talking about, the Russian goalies. And it just, there has a feel to me that he knows that how important that is, and everybody knows that. But it's just where they are as a team and what kept them out last year and getting the glimpse of what could have gotten them in, the way Jet played. And so if you could pair him with a real high floor. And if he has to go in with Elvis, then you're paying him a lot of money, and you got to hope that he continues to get some confidence, and maybe Jet lights a fire under him, and the competition keeps brewing. But it was the one thing, Maddie, that you feel like could have made the biggest difference.
No doubt. A place that can make a difference for you if you are looking for a new vehicle is McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. They have over 150 new vehicles on their website. They believe in nothing but the best, in transparency with every single car deal that they do. They did a car deal with me a few weeks ago, and I have been loving my new ride ever since. Their sales managers are absolutely incredible. They're right there on the floor, easy to talk to, and they will get you whatever you need. They have a 2025 Silverado LD, and you can get up to $12,000 off MSRP. McDaniel GM Superstore up in Marion is the place to be if you need a new vehicle, folks. I would not steer you wrong. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Manny, I'll just say it this way. You can never go wrong with somebody from Moose Jaw. That's it. Or the Brampton Battalion. You know, that sounds good at the podium.
That's strong.
You got a good Moose Jaw player. You feel like you got something. Sports Center update here, top of the hour. We come back. Is it possible the Brownies go with a surprise? We'll tell you what that means next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
T-Bone and Tyvus are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
The Peace Lily is so last year. Hey, has anyone worked with fiddlenecks?
Shelby's popular flower shop is in full bloom.
We just got a request for an arrangement that evokes air. Who's up for that challenge? No?
She needs to hire a floral designer to nip foliage faux pas in the bud.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our advanced matching helps find talented candidates so you can connect with them fast. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris.
Texas!
Then it's off to Rome.
Georgia!
And you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin.
Ohio!
Right now, save up to $494 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
When you're a AAA member, we do the hard stuff for you. So picture this. You're taking a road trip through the mountains at night, and you run out of gas. Do you, A, call AAA, or B, walk 29 miles to the nearest gas station in the pouring rain?
A?
How about this? You need auto insurance. You could A, pick AAA to find the best coverage for you, or B, spend so much time researching insurance jargon that you might as well have gotten a law degree.
Yeah, I'm going with A.
Right. Okay, you're booking a vacation. You can A, have AAA plan it for you, or B, stress so hard about layovers and getting to your cruise that you need a vacation from booking your vacation.
That's easy. A, AAA.
On the plus side, get more with AAA. Go to AAA.com/plus side.
Scotty Vegas here. We all know that summer's the easiest season for weight loss. Warm weather, lighter meals, being outside. Our bodies are primed to succeed, and Awaken 180 has your game plan. Reach your goals this summer with Awaken 180, the official weight loss program of summer.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Hey, Joe Fortenbaugh here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. We're about 10 minutes away from first pitch up at Progressive Field as the Cleveland Guardians take on the Toronto Blue Jays. With a win, the Guardians win the series. Tanner Bybee makes the start for Cleveland opposite Kevin Gausman. The Columbus Clippers continuing their series out in Iowa against the Cubs tonight. That one gets underway at 7:40. The Cincinnati Reds with an off day today. They'll start a weekend series with the San Diego Padres tomorrow down at Great American Ballpark. The NBA Draft resumes tonight with round 2 beginning at 8 o'clock. You can hear all of it right here on The Fan. The NHL Draft gets underway tomorrow night with the first round at 7. Catch the Blue Jackets Draft Special right here on The Fan at 6. And Caitlin Clark will miss at least tonight's game against the Los Angeles Sparks with a groin injury. This on the heels of missing 5 games with a quad injury a week ago.
Maddie's favorite show is Big Brother. Don't read into it. He's only watching strangers through hidden cameras. You're listening to Rothman and Creepy Stalker Guy.
Take over, Stalker Guy.
July 10th, by the way, your first episode of Big Brother.
Big Brother.
Countdown is on after that. 97.1 The Fan is asking Central Ohioans to step up and help their neighbors stay cool this summer with the Beat the Heat fan drive in partnership with 10 TV and Life Care Alliance. Many of Life Care's clients cannot afford air conditioning, and they have medical conditions that are exacerbated by extremely warm temperatures. Join us for a live broadcast of Rothman and Ice on Friday, June 27th, tomorrow at the fire station in Westerville at 400 West Main Street as we kick off the 2025 Beat the Heat fan drive. Bring a new box fan and help someone in need. The first 100 people who drop off a fan will receive a pair of tickets to the Cardale Jones softball game at Huntington Park on July 19th. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. For more information, visit 971thefan.com. Again, that's 971thefan.com, and we will be at 400 West Main Street at the fire station in Westerville.
Two sides to this question. How rough are the LA Sparks that they're still getting 5.5 with Caitlin Clark not playing for the Indiana Fever? Or how good is Indiana even without Caitlin Clark?
Well, it's interesting, right? Because the Indiana Fever got some drama going on that doesn't involve Caitlin Clark, because one of the vets that signed AR and Dewana Bonner was just released from the team because she wasn't happy with her playing time. So they told her to kick rocks. So now, and then you have that, who was a player that they were going to really rely on, and Caitlin Clark now being injured twice, and they're still kind of holding water at 7-7. But to answer your question, the LA Sparks are 4-11. And so Kelsey Mitchell, the former Buckeye, Aaliyah Boston, and the gang, can still probably find a way to get it done.
I just went to Bet365 and saw they were still getting 5.5, as we just learned that Caitlin Clark isn't playing for Indiana.
Yeah.
They're still getting points. So I don't know. What's the bet to make?
Indiana
the fever,
laying the points.
Probably so.
Yeah, laying that.
They'll be hungry to prove that they can do it without her.
Yeah.
There was a cough. Tried to hold it. Didn't happen.
Sounded like a sneeze.
Yeah, I know. My brother, every time sometimes
a hybrid.
Sometimes I'll cough and my brother will say, bless you.
I get that all the time.
It's weird.
My entire life, when I sneeze, people think I'm coughing.
Oh, I get the opposite.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cough is a sneeze.
Yeah.
Do you know who Brendan Bates is?
Brendan Bates.
Brendan Bates played college football for the Kentucky Wildcats. He was signed by the Bears as an undrafted free agent last year. And then a day after being waived by the Bears, he was claimed by the New York Jets. They released him, re-signed with practice squad. And then in December, the Browns signed Brendan Bates to their active roster off the Jets practice squad.
Jeez, this guy can't buy a good team.
Brendan Bates.
I saw a video of him today on Twitter. Where he attempted a Happy Gilmore swing.
Fresh off the tee box, letting it rip.
And literally corkscrewed himself into the ground, body slammed himself, complete whiff. And I saw the caption said, the Browns need to cut Brendan Bates after this.
Right now. I got to check this out, AR.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, slide in the DMs, big dog. Let me see that.
Is that how it's done these days?
Yeah, man.
Is that the way the cool kids do it? Just slide into the old DMs. Here, I'll DM both of you guys, and you can give me your take on that. Speaking of the Brownies, we have someone else that's predicting the quarterback thing. It feels like another one.
As DJ Khaled was
but not on the team this time.
Another one. No, this is a former Bengal, I believe, in TJ Hushmanzada, who was on the Nightcap podcast and had this to say about what he's hearing about where this Browns quarterback race is headed.
I don't know how this is a fair comment because I was told from somebody that's in the building that ain't a player. It's really coming down to Kenny Pickett or Dylan Gabriel. That's what I was told.
All right, so we got TJ Hushmanzada saying that. We played a clip from LaShawn McCoy a week or two ago of him saying, hey, I got people in the building telling me Shador's the guy. Shador's looking like he's going to be the week one star. Kimberly Martin's coming out and saying...
Was that pre-speeding tickets?
Yes, it was. Kimberly Martin's coming out and saying, hey, people are saying in that building, Shador's got a real chance to be the guy week one. Nobody knows anything. Nobody knows anything definitive. How could anyone know anything definitive? Kevin Stefanski, the decision maker, doesn't even know right now who is going to be his guy. There can't be a real lean. I don't think there should be a real lean either way to any of the four as to who is going to be your guy under center week one against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Bet if he had to win a game today, it would be Flacco.
I would agree with you just because of those guys have worked together in real games that matter. The system Flacco knows. I know Tommy Reese is a new offensive coordinator there now, but at the end of the day, it's going to be what Kevin Stefanski wants more times than not. I agree. Today, they go out there. I think Kev would come out and say, Flacco's our guy.
Well, you would lean on an older guy. Yeah. You would lean on a proven guy. It would give the rest of the team confidence that you wouldn't be starting a rookie. And so it wouldn't feel as daunting, like that you wouldn't know. The upset is not TJ saying that Kenny Pickett. That's not the upset.
I agree.
Because I feel like it's been kind of trending that way. Like if you want to see your future, make your future. If you want to do that right out of the gate, you're going to go with Pickett. You start with him, and that would be fine. And maybe he understands more and has a better knowledge of the offense. The upset would be Dylan. That'd be if he's starting the season, Dylan Gabriel, that's an upset. And it also could go to how far ahead he is of Shador knowledge-wise, just on how many games he's played in his career and where he is in picking up the offense. Yeah. Shador is Shador's in the camp for me of talented.
I think
there's talent there. Yes. I just don't think they would be confident, and maybe by the end of training camp, they'll get there, that you could put so much on his plate and say, okay, you're getting the first crack at this. That would be an upset to me. Gabriel is kind of a medium upset, because to me, if you're a head coach and you want to win a game today, you're probably not starting Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders.
What comes into play with that scenario you laid out, AR, is what type of confidence and what type of conversations have Kevin Stefanski, Andrew Berry had with ownership to get a true feel of how safe they are, right? How safe are we as the GM and as the head coach of this team that if we do want to mess around and throw out one of these rookies in week 1 and we lose, a whole bunch of games and we win 2, 3, 4 games, Max, are we coming back? Are we coming back? I don't know if that's a realistic thing. If an owner would ever give his head coach that black and white answer of, regardless of what you do this year, we're bringing it back with you. But the big picture in this is finding out one of Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders and what they are and how good they can be at this level. And that can't come in the form of a 2 to 3 game sample size, in my opinion. That's not fair to either one of those guys. And so I think those guys need to have a handful of games plus to be a guy and really get a feel of what it takes to play at this level all the time. And so that is what this needs to be about. I still think one of Flacco or Pickett will be off of this roster come week 1.
So you're not buying they can keep 4?
No, I don't think it would be smart to do that.
Well, the only reason it would be smart to do that is if you don't really think you're a contender this year and you want to save Flacco for the trade bait or
I think you can save one of those guys and still move on from Pickett or Flacco, whoever you think can bring back whatever.
If he's only on a 1 year anyway.
Yeah, if they keep 4 quarterbacks, this is a situation that doesn't make a lot of sense to me already. That would really be a head scratcher to go into the season with those guys and give up a roster spot to an extra quarterback or 2 in some people's mind, because some people believe it's cool to just have 2 quarterbacks. But if you give up a roster spot for a 4th quarterback that's really never going to play over an extra offensive lineman or something like that, I don't see the vision there. I don't.
The only vision I would see is that you could make the case this is the most important thing for them to find out this year. That it isn't about having that extra guy. It isn't about winning 5 games versus 4. To me, now, violent sport, you need depth. I get that. You got to field a team. But early on in this season, Flacco is you know what you know. I'm almost with you on there are 2 conversations here. They start with a gauntlet. And their schedule overall is difficult.
Yeah.
But when you talk about Bengals, Baltimore, Green Bay, Detroit, and then going overseas to play the Vikes.
Rookie or not, AR, you can lose to all those teams.
And then going to Pittsburgh.
Right.
This season could be over before it starts. And so
I love that you brought this up, because how much would our minds really change when it comes to those games, AR, regardless of who was playing quarterback? Flacco or Pickett, to me, are not going to give me more confidence than Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur.
I'll tell you how it changes. It changes if they win one of those first 2 games with Flacco. If they beat Baltimore or beat the Bengals with Flacco, then they're like, you know what? Season on. Here we go. We're going to do it until it doesn't. I'm just saying
that would be very knee-jerkish.
Is it about winning or is it about finding a quarterback?
This season, to me, doesn't need to be about winning.
Well, then Flacco probably has to go.
It's the latter.
Then Flacco would have to go.
I actually want Flacco to be the guide for the young quarterbacks.
He doesn't want to do that.
More than... That's true. More than Kenny Pickett. I think Flacco is more valuable in that realm than Pickett is to me.
Joe, you want to mentor the young quarterbacks.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what you'd get.
But do you agree with me, though, that when it comes to leadership and experience, it's Flacco that I would want to keep?
It's an awesome idea.
With Dylan and Shedeur.
And I'm not against the fact that, Joe, we're paying you $4 million to maybe not play and just be a teacher.
Yeah.
But he's also, how old? 40 or whatever he is. Mm-hmm. He wants to play. And he doesn't want to be we brought you in to pay you $4 million so you could mentor these guys. So my point is, if it's about winning, you keep him and see how the beginning of the season goes. And if it goes downhill, then it's the parade of other guys that you can get to play quarterback. If it is just about finding your quarterback, then Flacco probably doesn't need to be on this team. Probably doesn't. But you're saying that his steadiness and experience is worth more in the room at $4 million
than Pickett is to me. Yeah.
All right. We'll come back and a certain team, speaking of quarterbacks, might feel pressure to bring back this guy. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
So we bought an actual shopping mall and put one of the largest Honda dealerships in the world inside of it. Hi, it's Steve Lindsay with Lindsay Honda. So it's big. We house about 150 to 200 cars indoors, lit, all unlocked, ready for you to be able to view and see. A fully tempered climate. Doesn't matter if it's raining outside, 10 below zero, super hot. There's real trees inside, and it's just a casual environment. And if you haven't seen it, it's really a cool story, not about its opulence. It's just a cool story to see what was a dilapidated old mall being reinvigorated into a pillar in the community that everybody benefits from.
This month at Lindsay Honda, choose a 2025 Honda Ridgeline RTL, Honda HR-V or CR-V, and pay just $299 a month at our famous Lindsay Honda Trade-A-Thon. We'll trade for anything and give you $1,000 more for your vehicle all month long. Visit lindsayhonda.com for details.
Get ready to rock. Soft, that is. Nationwide Picnic with the Pops presents Yacht Rock Symphony, Saturday, June 28th, featuring all your favorite 70s and 80s super yacht rock hits on one stage with Ambrosia.
You're the biggest part of me.
Joined by John Ford Coley.
And I'd really love to see it tonight.
And Peter Beckett, the voice of Players. Don't miss this incredible night of hits, ending with a brilliant display of fireworks. June 28th at the Columbus Commons. For tickets, visit picnicwiththepops.com.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
This is This Date in Reds Baseball with team historian Greg Rhodes.
On this June 26th of 1932, for the first time in club history, the Reds wore numbers on their uniforms. Now, the Reds weren't the first club to do this. That honor goes to the Yankees, who started the practice in 1929. But by June 1932, the National League mandated all their clubs also wear numbers, and the Reds debuted them this June 26th. Epirixie, the Hall of Fame Reds pitcher who was at the end of his career, wore number 18, which of course later became famous as worn by Ted Kluszewski. And number 18 was retired in honor of Klu's career. But you can also think of the Hall of Famer Rixey, who wore number 18 for the first time on this June 26, 1932. This date in Reds baseball.
This Date in Reds Baseball is brought to you by the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore. Celebrating greatness, preserving history, providing inspiration.
If you miss a little, you'll miss a lot. Search for your favorite fan shows wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe. Every episode comes right to your phone absolutely free. Modern technology, it's a hell of a thing. Do it now. The Fan.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We are on Mother Nature's greatest hits on replay as we see yet again today. Mostly to partly sunny skies with our temperatures in the low 90s and feels like approaching 100 degrees. We will also yet again have that chance for showers and storms to pop up into the afternoon and early evening, some which could have heavy downpours. For tonight, 70s overnight, and then for Friday, very similar again. Low 90s, feels like approaching 100 with chances of storms developing in the afternoon. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Now you can watch Rothman and Ice.
Go to YouTube and search 97.1 The Fan.
Rothman is wearing the pancake makeup, so you might as well watch. Back to Rothman and Ice.
I gave up that a long time ago. I told you, when you felt you really made it, I'm speaking for myself, get a little extra change.
Mm-hmm.
I went from cover girl to Clinique. That's a nice,
Okay.
that's I would call that single A to the pros.
Fast tracking yourself to the big leagues.
For me.
Yeah.
If you're able to get away from the cover girl at the pharmacy and you can go to the Clinique counter.
That's when you
really, and then you really got somebody wearing a nice like coat there that looks official, knows how to blend things, the right shades. It really is. It's that kind of a leap in television. The leap that the Vikings are trying to make at quarterback will be interesting, Maddie, with J.J. McCarthy. They like him. He wasn't healthy, hurt his knee, and they could have tagged Darnold for $40 million. And you brought this up a while ago, and I don't know if I shut the door on it, but I felt like it had sailed. And it sounds like there's no way the Vikings could answer this because they really want JJ to work out. But as a backup plan, and this would be a pretty expensive one, I imagine, that they could keep the door open for a reunion with Kirk Cousins. And, I mean, he doesn't want to sit there and be the backup to Penix. But the only way Cousins comes back to the Vikes is if JJ doesn't work out, gets hurt, whatever, and then Cousins is back as the trigger man for the Vikes. I thought he wanted out of Atlanta. I thought they wanted to. It's weird that he's still there to me.
I still think he wants out. I think he wants out. I think the team is looking at
trade.
The team is looking at him as an asset, which I understand because they may have the most valuable backup quarterback in the league right now, based off of the experience that he has, the high levels of offensive productivity he reached when he was a starter in the league. Like, I don't know how many other backups around the NFL right now teams would really covet over Kirk Cousins.
They're doing what I said the Browns could do if they kept them all. And I'm not trying to compare Flacco to Cousins. I think Cousins is certainly an upgrade over Flacco. But you might be waiting for an early in-season injury and create something before the deadline. Now, he'd have to waive his no-trade clause, which I'm sure he would if he could start somewhere. And why wouldn't anyone want to go be the trigger man with Jefferson and the weapons that they have? So it kind of opened up that question for me. If the Vikings, listen, they've already, I mean, who else do they have? Howell?
Sam Howell, North Carolina's finest.
Who else? Rippon? Brett?
Is that Brent? Or is he a Brent or Brett?
I think he's a Brett Rippon.
He's a Brett Rippon. Okay.
With two T's.
BYU guy?
Boise State.
Boise State guy. Okay.
So the idea of this reunion kind of keeps surfacing in the stuff that I follow with the Vikes. By the way, speaking of the Vikes, your question to Schefter yesterday about how close they were to getting Rodgers went the long way, all the way back to us somehow. I'll let you explain it.
Yeah, so I get into work today, and I'm getting on Twitter, and I see that I should have paused. That's my bad.
That's our gong.
Yeah, that's your gong.
Yeah,
that's
right.
exactly right. But I get on Twitter, and I see that we're tagged in something, and I'm seeing this, like, purple and gold logo, and I'm like, what's going on here? And it's this really long, and it's somebody quoting us. And it's this really long tweet with the question and the answer. And so I'm like, what's going on here? And so an outlet called the Purple Persuasion, which is just excellent.
Purple Persuasion.
They picked up on our question yesterday when we were talking Vikings with Adam Schefter. But the thing about it is we didn't pump out anything Vikings related attached to it. We just asked the question, put it out there into cyberspace, and then that was it. We didn't say, hey, Adam Schefter, he was talking Vikings on our show. So somebody went out of their way to find this. And so I messaged the guy, whoever is behind Purple Persuasion, that's all I know him as. I was just like, hey, we're kind of curious. Like, thanks for tagging us, first of all, because, not everybody would have done that. So that's cool. So we can retweet it and stuff like that, and so we can see it. But I'm like, just out of curiosity, like, how'd you find out about that? And then the guy behind the Purple Persuasion then leads me to a link from Steelers Depot.
Okay.
Which is a different outlet because apparently he saw it on Steelers Depot.
Interesting. Okay, we got some odd.
So Troy Montgomery of Steelers Depot, I don't know how you found out about it, but there's a whole spider's web going on right now.
Shout out to Troy Montgomery. We've got some odd Vikings juju going on this week. We had a former Viking in Dalvin Cook.
That's what I thought it was, honest to goodness.
Retweeting our pre-show tweet as to what we have coming up. So you had that, and then now we have this with a Viking show, a Viking fan on our show that hosts every single day. You have anything to do with this, Mr. Viking fan? No? Nothing?
Can't say.
Okay. Listen, I'm just glad they tagged the show.
Nor
they
deny.
gave us some credit.
All I know is this, and I'll never forget this. And you should never forget this, and he'll never forget this. That the Vikings passed on Aaron Rodgers twice in the draft. That draft, we had 2 picks before he went later in that first round. I don't remember what number. 18 or whatever it was.
He went either 24 or 25.
Yes. And we had I don't know, 11. No, we were top 10.
Troy Williamson?
Troy Williams. That's incredible that you knew that. If you could get the other one, then I think you're truly Rain Man. I don't think you. I don't even know how you got Troy Williamson.
I've gotten called Rain Man before. That's funny.
That's unreal that you would know that.
It wasn't Ernie Sims, was it?
No. That
would have been the 06 draft.
You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you a hint because you'll get it with a hint.
Okay.
By the way, the Troy Williamson, you get the gold star of the day. That's amazing.
He was either 7th or 8th, I want to say.
Feels like that. I mean, we passed on him twice. So a lot of teams did, but we had 2 chances to get Aaron Rodgers. Anyway,
okay, but where would Culpepper have been at this point?
All right, so this guy played at Wisconsin. He was our 18th pick. He was a defensive end. He played with us for a couple of years. That's why I'm saying I don't think you're going to get it. However, he was the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. So he wasn't nobody. He's first team All Big Ten.
I mean, if you said it, I would know the name, but I'm getting mad at myself for not getting off of that.
I only thought you would get it just because it seems like you've memorized every draft from the last 20 years.
This is his thing.
Erasmus James.
Man,
is the name.
That's a deep pull that I would not have gotten.
James, yeah. I don't think the Vikings are going to need anything but J.J. McCarthy this year. I really think this guy is going to come in and have a nice floor for them. How high is the ceiling? I have no idea. I like what they've done around him. The playmakers are already there. The 3-headed monster with Jefferson, Addison, Hockenson is one of the best in the sport. You go out, you bring in 2 veteran interior offensive linemen. You draft Donovan Jackson, another interior offensive lineman, and you have arguably the best tackle duo in the sport. So offensively, he's in good hands.
He's set up to succeed.
He is. And I didn't even mention the head coach, who's a great play caller, too. And so last year when he was in the preseason, and it was a very small sample size, and again, it is just the preseason, he looked good before he got hurt. So we really don't know how that would have played out. My gut is telling me if he would have continued on that trajectory, he would have been their starter week 1. And who knows what would have happened with the whole Sam Darnold experience. But I think because of where he is, who the head coach is, that J.J. McCarthy is going to be just fine. You guys have a really, really good roster that is ready to go.
Yeah. Cousins isn't coming back to be a backup.
No.
That's number one. The other thing is he did not leave on horrible terms, so it could happen.
Yeah.
But it was just time. And it would have to take a really special circumstance with J.J. not working out or getting injured again for Cousins to want to come back, and he probably would, to be a starter for the Vikings. So I'll just leave it at that. The reunion would work if it was bad news for the Vikes.
Yeah, you don't bring him in unless there is an injury.
That's right.
Because if you bring in Kirk Cousins now, what that does.
Sending a weird message.
Yes, very weird
and
message.
The guys seem to want to see what JJ's about.
Why couldn't you? I think there's a lot of intrigue there with his skill set and what he can do athletically inside and outside the pocket and all of those things. You bring in a Kirk Cousins right now, there's that feel of, well, he's going to be the guy. Like, he's the starter, he's the vet based off of his resume and what he's done. I don't think you want to mess around with J.J. McCarthy's psyche at all with those type of things until you get to a point to where you absolutely have to do it.
We'll attempt to connect with our guy Adam King from 10 TV, Deuce Bigelow himself, gallivanting around Spain, and we'll find out what he's spending his euros on next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Purple Wave Auction remains the trusted leader in online equipment auctions. What makes the difference is you. You are part of our growing global community that continues to trust Purple Wave with the equipment that builds and feeds America. This trust placed in us by our community, from construction to ag producers and fleet drivers, brings great equipment opportunities to their next owners. Join the Purple Wave community today. purplewave.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
Scotty Vegas here. We all know that summer's the easiest season for weight loss. Warm weather, lighter meals, being outside. Our bodies are primed to succeed, and Awaken 180 has your game plan. Reach your goals this summer with Awaken 180, the official weight loss program of summer.
This is Corey Sickles with Safe Harbor Retirement Group. We can help ensure you'll have a reliable income stream in retirement, locking in gains and avoiding downturns in the market. Visit safeharboroh.com to schedule a complimentary meeting. safeharboroh.com.
Matty Ice here from McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. Are you looking for an affordable family car? Then the Chevy Traverse is for you. This month at McDaniel GM Superstore, you can get up to $3,000 off MSRP on a 2025 Traverse. Plus, qualified buyers can finance at 6.8% for 72 months. They are just a short drive north of Route 23 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. McDaniel GM Superstore, where great deals meet a century of trust. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Miss a minute of Rothman and Ice? Check out the podcast.
Type in Rothman and Ice wherever you get your podcasts. Download and subscribe.
Back to Rothman and Ice.
Apparently got the green light to push away, to shun, to push away from the table and maybe lie and say, I'm going to the bathroom and make a quick call. I have no idea how the connection is, but we now go to Barcelona, or as the locals would call it, Barcelona. And I'm curious how he is pronouncing it. He is 10 TV's Adam King for our weekly visit. Thanks for not missing the segment.
I mean, I wouldn't miss the segment. This is my favorite time of the week. Doesn't matter what part of the world I'm in. So, of course, I was going to make this.
How's that dollar to euro working for you right now? Nice exchange rate?
The exchange rate isn't what I would imagine, but it's misleading. You know, you see a nice golf shop hat and you get excited, but then you remember, hey, this is in euros.
What was the flight like? How long did it take you to get over there, AK?
The flight was great. We didn't have anybody in the middle seat, that was big because that allowed for some laying down room.
Did you buy the middle seat and just not fill it? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
That's what I did. Well, there were a couple people that tried to sit in and I just stared at them and I was like, not a chance. This is ours.
How long is it, the flight again?
It was about 7 hours, but that's not been the biggest challenge. I don't know if the loose cannon has let you know, but so today was the bachelor and bachelorette parties for this wedding. I am a +1 here, so me and a group of friends that I've known, from past weddings and visits, we said we're going to go play a golf course in Spain. Beautiful, amazing day. The only problem, where we played this golf course, we could not find anyone to give us a ride back. So there is a very important dinner happening in about 30 minutes, and we are 45 minutes away, and we've finally got a taxi from the friend of the golf course owner that is willing to drive us the 45 minutes home.
Here we go.
Well, it wasn't Sevi Ballesteros, I don't believe. What's he up to?
We wrapped up our round at about 4 o'clock Spanish time, Barcelona time, and we've been just sitting in the clubhouse for 3 hours.
Interesting. Hopefully some libations have been flowing.
I can't confirm or deny.
What's the name of the course?
The name of the course, hold on, my buddy's got a hat on here. The name of the course is Golf Costa Dorada.
How did you play today, Adam King?
You know, here was a couple things. We had to do rental clubs because we didn't plan this.
Brutal.
And rental clubs are hard to hit. That's tough.
It's awful.
I mean, the driver had a lot of weight to it. There were some good holes. There were some bad holes. I stuck one chip from about 100 out to about a foot, which that felt good. That definitely felt good. Probably remember that, and that'll be the big takeaway.
So you're there for a +1. I had some weird feeling like that maybe you were going to get caught up in the romance of it all and be that guy, right?
You cannot get on one knee at a wedding, at someone else's wedding.
No,
It's
not really at the wedding, but just you're right. That would be absolutely stealing their moment, and it would be brutal, and it would be right up your alley. But it'd be something you would think of doing.
My plan was when they got to the end of the altar to get on one knee.
That's right.
But that was shocking. They say I do, but let's look over here and see what's happening because this seems more
Well, you got to wait when they say, is there anyone here that, has anything to say before this becomes, what phrase am I looking for? Or, forever hold forever hold your peace. And then you actually say yes and then do it and steal that exact moment. It's basically the wedding buzzer beater, which you're all about.
That's a good call.
Oh, there it is. The golf course, the golf gods have
zapped them.
You there? You know what? It was enough. I think it was the minutes, all that.
Thing over here, and then we'll get back to you.
Oh, well, you're back. We just got you back. We knew this was going to be a challenge.
You lost me for a second?
We lost you for a second, or we just, somehow muted you, and then now you're back.
I wouldn't put it past intern Cole to have just absolutely muted me.
So
if things go south, things could go south.
The weather's good. The sights. The highlight can't be the golf, and you stuck a chip from whatever. That's swell. Give me something like that. You're going to come back and say that was cool.
I just think I've never been to Spain. I just think in general it's pretty unbelievable. It's beautiful around here everywhere you look. We're in a villa that was built in 1770 or something. So I mean, the villa that I'm staying in is older than America, and I think that's the craziest part of this whole thing. It's just absolutely beautiful.
I'll throw this at you. Between all the wonderful folks at 10 TV and the Fan, you got to come up with a foursome. Your foursome here, maybe in your case a threesome, is up your alley there, AK. But your dream golf foursome for 10 TV talent and the Fan talent. What three people are you playing with?
So here's the deal. I've got to go with Rothman because he's got that trophy on his desk that he won't let anybody forget about. I think Timmy Hall probably earns the honor because he talks a big game. Right. And I mean, when you belong to a local country club, like what is that, Oakmont? Is that what Timmy belongs to? Something Oak.
I think he gets out of town membership dues. So
that's right. And so when you talk that big game, you better be good at golf. So probably Timmy. And then if I was going to reach from the 10 TV section, I'll tell you what. Jerry Martz is a great meteorologist. He's a better golfer. Okay. So that should tell you all you need to know. He swings easy. He's out there like he's just living his best life, and he's sticking it to 6 feet with every iron shot.
And the good Lord would never ruin the best round of his life with some lightning.
Exactly.
He's being tuned to the barometric pressure.
The man brings the good weather. Mm-hmm. Imagine this: you're playing the golf round, and the guy that's planning it is a meteorologist. That's all you could ask for,
What time is it there right now? I don't know the.
Right now, it is 7:38, and we have a very important dinner at 8 o'clock, and we are 40 minutes away.
This is right out of The Hangover, man.
Oh, there was a hang up. I heard.
Oh,
it right
wow.
there.
That thing.
That was the clip
just
right
a thump.
there. Just dropped right there.
Well, maybe he hung up.
Yeah, maybe.
I think we hit his minute limit.
Yes. By the way, back in the day, you had to buy minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You had to get some roaming package. You know, he's going to Europe, right? That's amazing. All right. Well, it wasn't.
I'm curious.
It wasn't awful, the connection. It sounded fine.
They don't have Ubers over there? No Ubers, Lyfts? They're not doing that across the pond in Spain?
AK says, no, I lost it. I'm going to say we're a minute away from break
good.
anyway.
We'll see you when you come back next week.
I think that Maddie has the quote. We're good.
We're good.
Just say that. Just say we're good.
Quote, we're good.
Oh,
hyphen.
I tried to ask the tough question at the presser.
Yeah.
Are you getting engaged? You getting married? Is this, But since he's going to a wedding.
Yeah. I think he and his girlfriend.
I thought he was just on vacation.
That's what I thought, too. I thought he was just, getting away for the summer before football kicks up and all those things. I believe he and his girlfriend have been together for a little minute now. Yeah. And so maybe they'll
text him about some souvenirs, though.
They'll feel the vibes over there. Maybe he'll, get an itch to bend the knee. The most important bending of the knee a man can do.
I didn't even ask about, if he's going to have, what's he going to eat, the paella, all that.
Your big paella?
It's a melange of fish and meat and rice. Very tasty.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if that works on my palate.
Well, it's got carbs.
Fish, meat, and rice, that's like a third of your diet.
Well, the rice part of it. I'm not a big rice guy. Like outside of going to a hibachi spot, I'm not eating a whole bunch of rice.
Tell you what.
What about Chipotle? I just sounded like I cooked you up a nice Chipotle.
I'm a salad guy.
Oh, yeah,
Chipotle.
no more rice. That's right.
Salad guy.
Really?
Yeah. Really good
No
salad. Have you ever done that?
A lot of carbs in rice.
Yeah, I'm not a big
No, I've never gone to Chipotle on a salad.
I love the salad with the vinaigrette. Like the vinaigrette, you do that, it's amazing. Apparently, they have some new ranch that they dropped that I have not tried either.
I usually get steak bowls, but I'm riding this hot honey chicken as long as they have it.
Yeah, it's good.
How would you grade that guest spot? Did we get enough out of that?
I'd give it a C+.
I played golf.
Yeah, C+.
I'm trying to get a ride to the wedding. I thought we'd get the hotel was interesting.
Yeah, some history going on there. But other than that, it's a C game.
Had a middle seat that was open.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, I just figured there'd be something more there. Like I thought he'd be more inspiring people to want to go.
Did you feel like you were interviewing your co-host?
I felt like they're not going to hire him to run the tourism over there. Come on over. Maybe you'll get a ride. Maybe you won't. Weather's okay.
Yeah.
Going to a dinner.
Mm-hmm. He's got to be better next week. He's got to be better next week.
Poor Dom Taberry, because he's got to pull triple duty because he's in Barcelona and Nicole's in the Outer Banks.
Oh, wow.
So the sports department at 10 TV is just a one-man band right now.
Dom's grinding right now.
Sounds good.
That's all I had to say.
I'm not saying anything. We're coming back with a Buckeye Bulletin. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you. The meatloaf! The Fan.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
The Roofing Guys are your locally owned, trusted family business right here in Central Ohio. They've been hammering quality and service through the roof for over 25 years, offering professional services in roofing, siding, gutters, and more. Contact them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
The Buy 5, Save 5 deals at Meijer are a great way to stock up on all your 4th of July celebration supplies. Buy 5 or more and save $5 or more when you mix or match hundreds of items, like 24 packs of select Coca-Cola and Pepsi products, plus deposit where applicable. Oscar Mayer Classic Beef Franks, Kraft Shredded or Chunk Cheese, Dole Chopped or Premium Salad Kits, and Dixie Family Pack plates, bowls, or hot cups. The Buy 5, Save 5 deals at Meijer. That's the good life. A good deal better. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Hey, it's Anthony for my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. Summer savings, Rich is backing it up. He has rates as low as 0% and leases starting from $249 a month. How about a 25 Honda HR-V LX CVT two-wheel drive? Lease it for only $259 a month. 36 months, 30,000 miles with only $30.39 down. And all trades deserve a sweetener. He's giving you an extra $1,000 for yours. See them for all the details. Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Dr. Marta Lavelle of Urbana and Darby Dental smiles on having First Bank of Central Ohio as a partner.
It has been great working with First Bank of Central Ohio. They helped me achieve a huge goal, becoming a business owner. The bank made it so easy. They helped me through the whole process. It's been great ever since.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
He shoots, he scores! No matter your sport, it's a great time of year to be a fan. But the fun stops when you or a loved one can't control your gambling. At Maryhaven, we're here to help. Whether it's gambling, drugs, alcohol, or mental health, you don't have to go it alone. With in-person, virtual, and group options, Maryhaven meets you where you are. Always judgment-free. Go to maryhaven.com today. That's maryhaven.com.
Of your favorite fan content? Good news, we're on all the digitals. Follow 971 The Fan on X, Facebook, YouTube, The Talk, and Gram. Your digital home for endless shenanigans. The Fan.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, Buckeye Bulletin time. We did not play this the other day, and I want to now. Brand new Pittsburgh Steeler quarterback Aaron Rodgers on one of his backups, and that being national champion quarterback Will Howard.
You know, if you want assistance, I'm here, buddy. I want to help you. From the playbook of my own mistakes and things that I needed to learn from, that's where everything's going to come from. And if I can help you become a better player this year, that would be an incredible achievement for me. Because number one, he's a real good kid. I mean, he's a sweet kid, and he's had a lot of great success, at the college level. But I was impressed by him. Obviously, he worked once the rookies came out in May. I thought he looked really sharp. He made a bunch of great throws. I think there's definitely some things I can help him with, and some things that are different at the pro level. And I'd love to help Will and set him up to have a chance to be the guy for the next who knows how long.
In the Marvel universe, there was a point in time where Spider-Man was trying to follow Tony Stark around, a.k.a. Iron Man, everywhere and learn everything and do everything that Iron Man was doing. That needs to be Will Howard. This is such a valuable year of his football life. I mean, you think about what he was able to do or what he has a chance to do. Like, you transfer from Kansas State to Ohio State, one of the ultimate levels up in college football. You do what you did lead Ohio State onto a national championship. That helps your football profile. You immediately go into the NFL, get attached to one of the most respected franchises in the sport with one of the most respected head coaches in said sport. And then now, here comes Aaron Rodgers. Like, you really couldn't ask for more right now if you're Will Howard. So I would be following this dude around everywhere and just picking his brain as much as possible. And it's great to hear Aaron say in his own words that, hey, I already see some stuff that I can help him with, whether it's mechanics, film study, who knows exactly what he's talking about. But I think that's great to hear. And this is just a great chance for Will to just become more of a pro at a faster rate, probably from the neck up. Like, that's the stuff I would really try to grab a hold of if I'm Will Howard, because physically they're different. They do things differently as a quarterback. Will, his style is different than Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers is one of the best pure throwers the sport has ever seen, but the mental part of the game is where I think Will Howard can really, really grow in year one.
So a lot of quarterbacks, it's the situation, it's the head coach, it's the coordination, it's the mentorship, it's all that. And he's got it in Pittsburgh now.
Yeah.
You know, his comp coming out, saw an old name. I remember his comp was Blake Bortles. I remember, and I started to ask myself, why didn't Blake Bortles make it?
It worked for a little window of time, right?
Well, it was
for fantasy purposes.
Bad offensive line.
Well, that Jacksonville team was pretty good.
You're right.
Who did he have? Gus Bradley. Doug
That
Marrone.
sounds right.
None of those guys.
Right.
Neither one of those guys became head coaches again.
But they were. It wasn't in.
Marone did.
He did
with Buffalo.
Okay. Well,
was there an AFC Championship game appearance?
Yes, 2017 Saxonville is what they were called.
How come he never got another chance?
He was the Rams' backup for a brief moment in time.
That bet just failed horribly.
Yeah.
And I mean, thought you could build around him. It didn't work. And I've seen that comp for Will. It's an old comp, but I'm with you. The situation, he's already got the IQ. He's got the championship pedigree now, the leadership. And Aaron now feels like, this is Aaron's Aaron's got to get everything out of this season that he can just make peace and walk away. Yeah. And outside of getting injured again. And so I like the situation for Will. It does sound like a very good situation. And so I'm all for it. I'm happy to hear him say that. I think he probably won over some people with that.
Yeah, no doubt. You think about both Buckeyes that are on that roster right now, and Will and his opportunity to learn from one of the best of his era. The same thing could be said for Jack Sawyer. I mean, he gets to learn from a Hall of Famer and T.J. Watt, and how do I get after the pass, the passer, and what do you do with your hands, and all these things to get off blocks. And not only is it T.J. Watt for Jack Sawyer, it's Cam Hayward as well, another former Buckeye in his own right. So both those guys going over to that franchise, I think, are in great, great positions to learn first. Like, those guys can maybe help out in year one. Who knows with Will, because Aaron Rodgers is going to play a whole bunch of snaps. But I'm not going to be surprised if Jack Sawyer's in some type of rotation at some point in time this year. But that's what you dream of is, let's get to the NFL. But one, let's go to a franchise that's going to be pretty good right away. I won't have to wait to win much. But two, can I get around some guys that have done it at the highest level? And both Jack Sawyer and Will Howard can answer that question, unequivocally with a yes every single day because of T.J. Watt and Aaron Rodgers.
Ice, you think Flacco sounded a little bit different than Rodgers?
Much different, right? And Flacco,
that's not my job.
It's not my job. And look, it's not his job. It's just something that you really don't want to say out loud, right? It's tough. And like Flacco said, I think we played it at the Memorial.
It's a great soundbite.
You can spin it either way. There's really not a right answer if you are the quarterback. I guess the right answer would be, I'm going to, take him under his wing and show him everything that I can do. But I think your job is, if you're Joe Flacco or Aaron Rodgers, is to go about your business first as the quarterback and what you do X and O wise. But if the kid asks you a question, hey, let him know this is what I do and this is how it should look. And I think that's really all you need to do.
That's it. I'm here for him if he needs me.
Yeah.
That's what I would have said. And I would have left it at that. That means that you're not proactively thinking that your job is to coach the other quarterback.
Right.
But I have a lot of experience, and if he needs me, I'm here.
Yep.
And I will never not be there. But my job coming into that building every day is to try to be the starting quarterback for this team, not try to help another guy be the starter.
That's simple.
Yeah.
And in Joe Flacco's defense, he's also in a different position because he has a much lower chance, especially if you listen to Houshmandzadeh, he has a much lower chance of starting for the Browns than Rodgers is with the Steelers. His job is pretty safe with Will Howard.
Rodgers is probably the best point, which is there is no competition.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to come back top of the hour Sports Center update. The NHL draft is tomorrow. The Jackets have made a trade, and it impacts a certain area of their team that certainly needs attention. We'll tell you that next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
Here's a quick 10-second reminder that the Buckeyes have won the Natty. Also, we are all the games, and we always will. Thank you. Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
What does it mean to live here, serve here in the Ohio Army National Guard?
It means I can attend college full-time and not have to take out student loans to pay for my tuition.
It means I can work my civilian job during the week and support my state and nation in times of need.
You too can live here, serve here as a member of the Ohio Army National Guard. Learn more about part-time service with full-time benefits at nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard in coordination with the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Get summer blockbuster savings at Coghlan Kia, Central Ohio's largest volume Kia dealer. Right now, take up to $6,000 off MSRP on any new Kia in stock. Plus, get free maintenance for a full year when you buy. Get any new Kia with up to $6,000 off MSRP. Visit CoglanKia.com.
Largest Kia dealer based on current ground stock at all 4 Coghlan Kia locations. 2025 Kia Sorento XY. MSRP $47,990. $3,000 Coghlan discount. $3,000 factory rebate. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. N7725.
It's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place. Leslie, what's that hot lamp against your window for?
Pella windows are tested up to 160 degrees Wilson to ensure efficiency and the lowest energy bills possible, even in the craziest of temperatures. Put your hand on there.
All right. God, that's hot.
On the window, Wilson.
Oh, hey, that is quite nice and cool. So I'm going to go grab some ice now.
Get the window that Columbus homeowners rated #1 for innovation at PellaColumbus.com.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Hereeth my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
The peace lily is so last year. Hey, has anyone worked with fiddlenecks?
Shelby's popular flower shop is in full bloom.
We just got a request for an arrangement that evokes air. Who's up for that challenge? No?
She needs to hire a floral designer to nip foliage faux pas in the bud.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our advanced matching helps find talented candidates so you can connect with them fast. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris,
Texas!
Then it's off to Rome,
Georgia!
And you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio!
Right now, save up to $494 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
This 4th of July, Bob's Discount Furniture is bringing back 4 for the 4th. Spotlighting 4 must-have trendsetters for $7.99 and under, like my farmhouse chic Calvin bedroom, Play-Day sectional with pop-up sleeper and hidden storage, Consumer Reports recommended treasure mattress, and my 5-star Betty dining set in 4 gorgeous colors. So stop in or visit mybobs.com and celebrate 4 for the 4th.
Oh, my Bob!
Bob's Discount Furniture.
A Progressive Home and Auto Bundle can protect you round the clock, but we can't protect you from those painful moments in sports.
I can't believe they're moving the team to another city.
True, but you'll never forget all the joy they brought into your life.
Joy?
They made the playoffs twice in 50 years.
Gosh, those 2 times were pretty great, weren't they?
How would I know? I wasn't even born yet.
Just think of all the free time you'll have on game days.
Those games were the highlight of my week.
Well, at least your home and auto are protected with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. A lot of movement happening in the NHL on the eve of the first round of the draft. That includes the Columbus Blue Jackets. Pierre LeBrun has reported that the Jackets have traded restricted free agent goaltender Daniil Tarasov to the Florida Panthers for a 5th-round pick. You can catch the Blue Jackets draft special tomorrow night here on The Fan, beginning at 6. They're in the top of the 3rd inning up at Progressive Field, the rubber match of the series between the Guardians and the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays have scored 3 runs here in the top of the 3rd, still batting. They lead the Guardians 3-0. The Columbus Clippers, they're out in Iowa still, continuing their series with the Cubs tonight. That one gets underway at 7:40. NBA draft resumes tonight with round 2 beginning at 8. This one's sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, Pataskala, and always online, rcdrv.com.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, final hour of the program, Rothman and Ice. Pete Futak, collegefootballnews.com, the publisher, coming up at 2:30. Get his feeling on Big Ten, Ohio State, likelihood of a repeat, all that good stuff. You heard Bake mention the update that we have a goalie move with the Jackets. And I probably teased it the wrong way. I didn't want to make it sound like that they got somebody that's going to impact, but this does impact the situation. They need to make some sort of move and goal if they can. They had a few different guys in the cage this year. The most positive was the end with Jet Greaves.
No doubt.
Dude was 7-2-2 this year. 191 GAA. Save percentage was 938. Small sample, but off the charts incredible. He's under contract, and he could be a guy that certainly could work at the NHL level. He looks like he's ready to be here. And so you have a solid backup in Jet. If you could move Elvis, and this is the big if, because his contract, what kind of takers could you really have on Elvis right now? He's a big problem. He could be a solution if he plays better.
Just
and if he stays healthy. And he doesn't get dinged every now and then. And you don't know really where he is when it comes to that stuff. And what Don Waddell is probably working with here is... And then I was thinking, do you have a high enough pick at 14 and retain a lot of his salary, Matty, to be able to get another team to take him off your hands and then grab a veteran somewhere? Or maybe, and then obviously you could draft a goalie too at 20 if you wanted to. But I don't know if 14's high enough. It really depends on the team and cap space and all that. That's where he has to do everything he knows how to do. As far as Tarasov goes, he's potentially very good. He's going to Florida. Bill Zito has raved about him.
Used to be
What
here.
does he even care as far as he's got Sergei Bobrovsky?
Exactly. And just won another cup with Bob.
Yes. This is a backup goalie with potential. If he stays healthy, he's going to be a really good backup. That's what I thought Tarasov could be. Mm-hmm. But he just doesn't, he's not healthy enough, and he doesn't get enough chances to really show how good he could be or what his potential is. The backup goaltender, I mean, I'm looking at Tarasov, 7-10-2, .354 GAA, .881 save percentage. There's no way I could know that he's an NHL goalie right now. I don't know that. And neither does Zito, except Zito has always loved him. And so now he gets a backup. And we get another late pick, and they can package that up for whatever they want. I like that they got something out of him. That I do like, because you got to let him walk in free agency. They got something for him.
No doubt.
So you let him walk. Trading away Elvis is going to be really difficult. If they could do it and pull it off and feel like you could go get a veteran goalie, and like I said earlier, make that tandem of Jet and a veteran goalie, then I feel like you're moving forward a little bit. Or you feel like, hey, you're paying Elvis a lot of money. He still has talent. He's talked about it. He's won some games for you. When he's good, he's been real good. It's tough to count on him, consistency, and then the health-wise. But this is kind of where they are. So this is kind of the first little move in my mind to kind of, I don't know, open things up a hair. It's not anything major.
It's definitely cleaned up the picture a bit. In my opinion, you had to have Jet on the Blue Jackets roster day one. I think, no?
Yeah, I mean, he's currently signed, I think, to the AHL. But yeah, I mean, he's had work at the NHL level, to your point.
I just think him
and
being
I like that.
in the mix is what I wanted to see and what I want to see in the future based off of what you laid out, even though it was a small sample size, in a way where we talked about the Browns situation with their quarterbacks and finding out what you have. They really need to find out what they have in Jet, because it may be a gem. It may be your goalie of the future. So getting him more reps out there in live game action, I just think is paramount and very important. You got me thinking about this option of them selecting a goaltender in the first round this week. Because I know Don's come out and said, Don Waddell's come out and said, teams have been calling me about our draft picks. I wonder, AR, in return, his aggressiveness and maybe what that's looked like to maybe move around, maybe move up in the draft to get a goalie that he's identified. We'll never know.
I don't know if he has to move that high this year.
Okay.
As far as what I've read with mocks and things.
About the prospects at goalie this year.
There's a pretty good one. What's his name again? These kids, they're so... I think it's a good name.
He could probably stick and pick at 14 or 20 and maybe have that guy or another guy that they're
Ravensburgen. Yeah. 6'5". Yeah.
And that's what Jet doesn't have, is that size that you would probably want in your goaltender. I know that's been a little bit of a knock with Jet, but he overcame that last year and still was a strong player for them as a goalie. And so, it's just such an important part of your hockey team. I mean, look at where Florida's been. You brought up Bill Zito. We praised him for the moves that he made this year. You bring in a Seth Jones. You bring in a Marchand to really round out that roster that was already really good. That's GMing at a high level. But also, he knows, his teammates know, that fan base knows, we all know as hockey fans that what Bob is when he's right is one of the best. And he's been that guy. And when he is that guy, it's special stuff. So you get some security there with Tarasov. But for the Jackets, that's what they're looking for. That's been the problem, or one of the problems the last few years, is the confidence in having that guy and knowing more times than not, this is what we're going to get. And it's now on Don Waddell to find that guy, or one of Jet or Elvis to really rise up and be a consistent goaltender for our Jackets.
Yeah. So I guess because Bake just updated me again. So when Jet did the 2-year deal, that was the 2-way AHL, NHL for this year, 1-way NHL deal for this season. So, listen, I'm all for him. He looked as solid as anybody at the end of the year, confident. That glove was incredible, and I'm very much a part of wanting him to be a part of this going forward. He's earned it. He deserves it. Good kid, works hard. More importantly, the results are there. They have an Elvis situation. There's a lot of money wrapped up in him. You wouldn't get a lot of takers for him right now. You'd have to probably package that up and see if you can make that big move. And I just don't know if they have enough to be able to do that right now, but Don's working it. So that's fun. Yeah, TLC.
I'm seeing a hockey analyst on Twitter right now says Waddell is either looking elsewhere or all in on Jet. Who do you think may have tweeted that?
I have no clue.
NHL Network?
No. Adam K.
Oh. Wait, what?
He's tweeting jackets from Barcelona.
This guy.
Wait, read it again to me.
He's late to a dinner and he's tweeting about the jacket.
No, he's not. He's in a car. No,
they were going to be late. He said they said it was the dinner started in 30 minutes and they were 45 minutes away.
But he's just in a car.
He's tweeting out.
Worried about getting there.
Yeah, you're right. He should be texting people.
Sorry.
Excuse me, we're on the way.
Right. Waddell is either looking elsewhere or he's all in on Jet. That's all he said. Okay. The only reason I brought that up is because Adam is tweeting jackets from Barcelona, which I thought was funny.
He's looking elsewhere or he's all in on Jet. You think? Like, yes, one of those two things is very possible. There is a third. The third is that he's going to let Elvis prove something again.
Because what's interesting about Elvis AR is he's that guy where it's like, man, the peaks they're pretty good to really good when he's right. But the valleys are they're head scratching. Like, where did that guy go? Why do we have this peak and valley stuff going on with Elvis? So there could be a little of, could this guy come back to haunt me stuff going on with Elvis? I don't know. I'm just saying, like, because when you see Elvis on a good day, you're like, that's a starting caliber NHL goalie night in and night out. Then sometimes you see him, you're like, okay, like, what's going on here? And I think when you have a guy like that, it could be difficult to really slam the table and say, all right, we're just completely done. I'm not saying that's where they are. What you brought up with the money and the years and all that is very, very real, but those could be funky equations to figure out, I think, for a front office when you have a talent like that.
I think the most frustrating thing is when you feel like you have a talented guy, but you can't count on him physically. You don't know when something's going to crop up. Mm-hmm. Like, there were a lot of times during the season, I was on the air looking at you going, what's wrong with Elvis? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have that. You got to have a guy you can count on.
And then the emotional component of it, too. Right? Like,
and give him a little of that with Matisse.
No, 100%. Yes, I'm just saying, like, you hear that a lot, is you want your goalie to be calm, cool, and collected, right? Elvis, he's a fiery guy. That doesn't bother me. That's just what hockey people have said. And is that something they look at and said, well, going either way on that, do we really believe that in the hot part of games, right? Yeah. When things are really highly contested, is he going to be emotionally in control too?
That's a big part of it. I never really, I started to understand that later on, just how composed goalies need to get. Because remember when Torts was on that one time, and who broke this? Was it Corpy?
Wait, didn't we just have this with... Something happened with Elvis this year. Maybe I'm misremembering.
Well, remember when I said it looked like he pulled himself?
It was because Coach Evison pulled him for some emotional stuff. Right? It was a slamming of a stick or something. He snapped a stick. Something like that, I believe, happened.
Well, he was going south in that game. But I feel like it was almost like he pulled himself. And then the other part, I think it was Corpy. Somebody, I think, gave a bad goal and snapped his stick, and Torts was on. And I said, what's the big deal? Like, he was upset. He gave a bad goal. Like, we've seen guys snap bats before and get mad and all that, and it's just part of the emotion. He just completely and he wasn't a goalie coach, and he admitted that. He's just like, you just need that guy to be a flatliner. Things go wrong.
Yeah. That's when you need it. Like, you can have your quarterback be rah-rah and celebrate touchdowns and all that stuff. Like, but I don't think you want your quarterback slamming his helmet and doing stuff on the sideline when things are going wrong.
The goalie can't ride the roller coaster of emotion.
Everybody feels that.
It's too tough, and it's just too, it's the most unbelievable position, because when you make a great save, certainly you get cheers and you get praise for it at certain times. But what I've heard guys say is mostly, you'll never get faulted for giving up a goal that's a great shot or a 2-on-1.
Deflection, funky deflection.
It's the soft goals. Yeah. It's the ones that you make the saves you're supposed to make. It's the football equivalent of make the routine play routinely. Yeah. That's it. And it's like when you throw a bad pick, it's the same thing in hockey.
Yeah.
Make the right saves.
Same thing could be said about your starting shortstop in baseball. When that ground ball gets hit to him, everybody in the stadium and dugout needs to know that guy is out.
Ellie?
When you don't have that guy, and Ellie's had his errors, right? You never know, right? But when you have that shortstop that's going to make all those routine plays, it just breathes confidence into everybody on the team. And I think the same thing could be said about the goalie.
All right, so now we're down. So then I got the They got the two goalies now.
Yep.
They got Jet and Elvis, and we'll see what they do, and we'll see if he can package one or both of those picks or something, or if he has to stick and pick. Does he take a goalie? Who knows? But it's definitely the position that they feel held them back this year.
Yeah.
And whether Jet's going to be the guy that gives them that confidence to go forward, then how many games can he actually play? What is he ready for? And where does Elvis fit into all of this if he is still on the team? It's a wild ride for Don, and of course, he will handle it the best way he can. We'll come back with a pre-snap read. Mr. Unlimited has his reasons. We'll tell you what those are next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Hey friends, Beamer here. So did you jump in on Awaken 180's Lose 40 by the 4th challenge? Well, if you did, a huge congratulations to you on hitting a 40-pound goal in less than 2 months. That deserves some serious celebration. Speaking from experience, I dropped double digits my very first week on Awaken 180, and in just over 3 months, all 70 pounds were gone. Total game changer for me, and the results came lightning fast. Now, if you haven't jumped on board yet, there's no worries. There's still plenty of summer left to lose your 30, 40, 70 like I did, or even 100 pounds or more. I'm not saying you're going to drop 40 pounds next week, but if you have the same week 1 results I had, you'll definitely be on your way. Set your sights in August. Think summer barbecue, golf, the beach, every bit of it fits into your new Awaken 180 lifestyle. Lose weight, love summer, and thank me later. You can start today at awaken180weightloss.com, the official weight loss program of summer.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Summer's heating up, and so are the deals at Germain Toyota of Columbus. Whether you're cruising to the lake or hauling your weekend gear, Germain, well, they've got the truck to help you get it done. Right now, get 2.99 APR for up to 72 months on the rugged 2024 Tacoma, or step up to the powerful 2025 Tundra, also 2.99 for 72 months. These summer savings, they won't last forever. So visit Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or online at germaintoyota.net.
Nashville's hottest band, Old Dominion, is coming to Great American Ballpark on July 10th as part of the Ohio Lottery post-game concert series. After the Reds take on the Marlins, all fans in attendance are invited to stay and enjoy a set from Old Dominion. Plus, you can upgrade your ticket to a pit field pass for an up-close view of the show. For tickets and more information, visit reds.com/concerts.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night. You can't stand your CPAP machine. I totally get it. But the good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine. And Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your spouse will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and of course, stops your snoring. That's the main point. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. I love Marysville. If you're snoring and not sleeping, you need to call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. Do not delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. And now, sleepbettermarysville.com too.
Join the Fan weeknights at 6 for the Buckeye Show. And if you're asking if it's just a bunch of homers rooting for all things Ohio State, yes it is. Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. $470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We are on Mother Nature's greatest hits on replay as we see yet again today. Mostly to partly sunny skies with our temperatures in the low 90s and feels like approaching 100 degrees. We will also yet again have that chance for showers and storms to pop up into the afternoon and early evening, some which could have heavy downpours. For tonight, 70s overnight, and then for Friday, very similar again, low 90s, feels like approaching 100 with chances of storms developing in the afternoon. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Maddie likes to play this game of how much money a guy has made all time.
Career earning.
Like,
I love this.
It's hard to do. And I was thinking of this before, because I don't know the answer to this, about Russell Wilson and the amount of money that dude has made.
Let's get to that in 1 second, because I cannot wait to hear that number. But first, let me let you know, folks, that at Bet365, we don't do ordinary. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. Some interesting stuff happening right now in this Guardians game. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. for the Blue Jays has been hit twice, I believe, in this game. And the Blue Jays just hit Jose Ramirez. So star player for star player, hit by pitches going on. So don't be surprised if you see something pop off in Cleveland here the rest of the afternoon.
We didn't bet on plunked batters today.
No, but it definitely seems like the Blue Jays just got their pound of flesh. Like, you want to hit our guy, we're coming to hit your guy. But back to Bet365, they got an awesome new sign-up offer for you where you can bet $5 and you will get $150 in bonus bets, whether your bet wins or loses. So check out their great website or download the Bet365 app today. Hey, I'm looking at the big dumper, as they call him, Cal Raleigh tonight to hit a dinger. Plus 240 against the Minnesota Twinkies is the juice on that. This man leads Major League Baseball in RBIs with 69 and home runs with 32. So he's just been an absolute force for Seattle. I think he's taking a couple left turns on the infield tonight. So give me Cal Raleigh for an anytime home run tonight, AR.
He partied like a Rothstar alumnus. Let's, you know where I'm going. I said it earlier. Something's weird about the fact that Caitlin Clark isn't playing and the Fever still laying 5.5. So I think they'll be motivated to prove they can win without her in cover. So I'll take Indiana minus 5.5 against the LA Sparks.
There you go. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365 again. Download that Bet365 app today. You will not be disappointed. 21 plus only, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Offer subject to meeting qualifying criteria.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
I just looked at my phone and a buddy of mine had texted me, who is this guy talking golf across the pond?
His name is Adam King.
I wrote Sevi Ballesteros, ghost. Who is this guy talking golf across the pond? Russell Wilson, just remember this. The Broncos paid Russell Wilson about $40 million to go away.
Get the bag.
Mr. Unlimited.
Go away.
And you know that I always say this, one of my favorite things in sports
to be paid to go away
is the buyout. Like, hey, we're letting you go. Like in the case of Tom Thibodeau for the New York Knicks, they just fired him and they still owe him $30 million. Thanks. I'll pack my own box and get out of here.
Here's a box to put your crap in. Don't worry.
Seattle,
I got
we got
my
a
own.
deal.
I got my own box.
Play that again, TLC.
Hey, Seattle, we got a deal.
God, he's in bed with his wife,
Sierra.
But I'm going to see y'all in the
Got
morning.
the sleep voice going.
That's one of the ultimate flexes right there from anybody. I don't think he had a shirt on or anything.
Mr. Unlimited.
Here's the deal. I just said they paid him $40 million to go away. I feel like we're in an era now where you can recover from awful trades, awful draft picks, and the way you recover is you just keep swinging. Look what the 49ers did with Trey Lance. No one's holding that against them right now.
Well, they got lucky.
Well, you got to hit it.
They got lucky.
But you just keep swinging.
I mean, listen. Their swing came in the form of Mr. Irrelevant. The last pick of the draft, and now they're paying him 45 plus $50 million. But you're right, AR, because it's just so important. Because when you find the guy, things just change so quickly more times than not in a positive way. And so we were talking about Kirk Cousins in Atlanta earlier. We were all dunking on them for drafting Michael Penix high and paying Kirk Cousins a whole bunch of money coming off a tough injury at his age. But all that matters is that if Michael Penix is their quarterback in the future, none of that storyline has any effect on what they're doing moving forward. So that's why I understand it. Like, if you're a team that's been scratching and clawing to find a quarterback, you swing. You swing. Now, did the Browns do it, the smartest way? Maybe not. But are we going to be dunking on them?
Shooting.
Exactly. Nobody's going to be dunking on them if one of Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders is their quarterback of the future. It was just a unconventional way of doing it.
I feel like Russell Wilson, forget about how you feel about him personally or whatever. I feel like he gets a bad rap. I do. He's a good story. He's a good story. He's a third-round draft pick that turned out to be a Super Bowl champ and had an MVP-type feel to him. And he was pretty mobile, pretty physical, could run, good arm, smart. Like, his height was a big disadvantage coming into the pros. Pete Carroll saw something in him, and nobody really knew if he could throw effectively from the pocket. Like, what he's become is now this aging quarterback who's overpaid and didn't live up to his hype late in his career. But this is a 5'11", third-round pick that I feel gets a bad rap. Am I wrong? He should be spoken of a little differently in maybe his personal life.
So what you're saying is you want people to put a little bit more respect on his name.
I feel like as a Super Bowl champion and a 10-time Pro Bowler,
I think he's
talked about as some kind of just slug. Like he's
punchline.
I think a punchline is a good phrase.
I think there's a couple things that are baked into your feeling there. And I could be wrong. This is just my guess. I think one is when you mentioned that Super Bowl, people think that was driven by the LOB, that great defense, and Marshawn Lynch, that great run game. And when you're a quarterback in that type of system, there's a little bit of that Trent Dilfer energy going on for people. We know he was better than that. Yeah. I know, but I just think that was, part of it. And then two is, well, the dude's corny. He's corny. And when people see somebody like that, I don't know if people enjoy that all the time.
I guess I don't see that part of it. I see a guy who did exactly what a lot of people would expect. That the girlfriend he had at his draft party was not going to be the girl he ended up with once he became a star. Like, I feel like it's like he's getting a bad rap for doing what a lot of these guys do. He became successful and very wealthy and married a superstar in a way. And now they're like holding it against him.
So I haven't heard that in forever. Really? That people are still getting after him for that?
No, not getting after him for that. I just feel like it all adds up to what TLC said. Has he really turned himself into a punchline? Or is it because his athletic ability started to drop and he was still making so much money and it tilted everything?
Yeah, that could be the case for sure. He's had his situations, whether it was Seattle, Denver, Pittsburgh. There's been 3 teams now where things have come out where it's like, okay, was he listening to the offensive coordinator? Was he doing things on the fly that he wanted to do and not things that were within the system. Like, we'll never really know those things, but that has followed him. The relationship between he and Sean Payton was not good at the end. And like you said, they ate a whole bunch of money just to get him out of the building. I've always liked Russell Wilson just based off of his aura, if you will, as the kids say, and the energy that he gives off. He's funny to me. I think he's a funny guy. He is what he is as a quarterback. He's a fine quarterback, has had a good career, not a Hall of Famer by any means, but I think it's his personality and some of the other things you guys mentioned that I think can kind of turn people off, I guess. But I'm not one of those people.
I'm not either. And I feel like listen, Tiger was an absolute phenom. Everybody knows that. But he's almost like a self-proclaimed nerd.
So he's corny.
Like he was.
He's corny.
And obviously no one's going to say anything bad about his ability. He's maybe the best ever outside of Nicholas. But I think Russ wasn't an overall number one. He wasn't a can't-miss dude. Yeah. If anything, he was doubted. And then he makes it and makes a boatload of cash and marries a very famous girl. And everything's kind of gone on this downslide. And now he's a punching bag for a lot of people.
I'm a combination.
Well, yes, that is true. That was Tiger when he was discussing.
What does he say?
He's a Cablination.
I'm a combination.
Yeah.
Caucasian, blue, black, Indian, Asian.
Yeah. That was at the very beginning. We come back with our friend Pete Futek, collegefootballnews.com in 2 minutes. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
Men, the summer is here. Longer days, warmer nights, and romance in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know it can ruin romance, both for you and the one you love. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if you have ED, don't let another summer go by without getting treated. Because intimacy is one of the greatest things in life. And fear of not being able to perform should not be something you have to deal with. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated tens of thousands of men. Our protocols work when others don't, and we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. You could even last up to an hour or more and perform like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Beds are us when dreams don't get in. Beds are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
Beds are us when dreams don't get in. Beds are us. Road trip.
This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings because you're driving to Paris,
Texas,
then it's off to Rome,
Georgia,
and you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio.
Right now, save up to $494 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Always as tender as a well-done steak. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, back at it. Talking college ball with one of our favorites, our guy Pete Futek, who is the publisher of collegefootballnews.com. And he's on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Pete, welcome back, my man.
How you guys doing?
Doing great. Looking forward to the fall, as always, around here. Likelihood of Ohio State repeating is what percentage for you?
Repeating is what? A national champ?
Yes.
You know, I remember they didn't they didn't go to the Big Ten championship last year. So I think, again, I kind of feel like you kind of one foot in front of the other. I kind of still think, even for a program like Ohio State, step one is make sure you get to the Big Ten championship. Because if you do that now, you're in. And once you're in, then game on. Let's see. I would put it obviously less. Like last year at this time, I kept telling everyone Ohio State's going to win the national title. They have to have, they have the guys back. They have the experience. They have that anger that they missed it the year before. And They've got the right guys to the portal. They just have more talent than everyone else. It was kind of easy to say, yeah, that's the best team in college football. And the problem with Ohio State is just like all the other top teams. Who's your quarterback? You guys know who your quarterback is, but he's not a proven guy yet. Same thing kind of for Alabama. Same thing kind of for Georgia and Oregon. And Texas for that matter. Everyone knows who Arch Manning is, but he's not proven. So you're going to see all the rankings of the top 10, and outside of Drew Aller, there's not going to be a whole lot of sure thing starting quarterbacks returning.
Going into last season, I think there would have been some people that said, which head coach, or if I asked you this question, Pete, which head coach had the most pressure on him going into last season? And I think Ryan Day's name would have popped up with the whole Michigan stuff going on, and then you go on to win a national championship. You still lose to Michigan, but I think some of that's faded away as far as the pressure, big picture stuff goes with him. He's got to take care of that game as he knows. But I want to ask you that question about this season, Pete. When you look around the landscape of the sport, which head coach do you believe has the most pressure on them right now to succeed at a pretty high level?
I would say Lincoln Riley's probably one of ones. I mean, because that's supposed to work. And everyone kind of forgets. If they came within a Caleb Williams hamstring injury in the Pac-12 championship of probably going to the college football playoff. So he's got the pressure on now because the last 2 years have been subpar. You want to make more of a splash in the Big Ten. You're USC. You're supposed to be one of those programs that gets anyone you want. And let's see if that thing sort of pops up fast. I don't want to say Mike Norvell's on a true hot seat, but kind of. I mean, maybe the thing 2 years ago was an aberration, because last year they fell off the map, obviously, at Florida State. And it's the ACC. If you're Florida State, you're supposed to be in the ACC championship. That conference just isn't all that great. So he's definitely won it. I would say pressure-wise, but not necessarily to win a national title, but just to win, just the pressure you've got to win now. It's Sarkisian, because they've been to the college football playoff twice. They've been to the Final Four twice, and they just haven't been able to get over that hump. And now the pressure is on that, they're supposed to at least play for the SEC championship. They're supposed to be in the college football playoff. And if they go 9-3, which, hey, look, the SEC, you can go 9-3, then absolutely, hot seat is not be fired, but hot seat in terms of just having that pressure turned off.
Listen, it's tough for me to ask you to handicap a game that, hasn't been played, won't be played for a little while, but your vibe on the Texas-Ohio State game is what? I don't even know. The look-ahead line has kind of moved around a little bit. Maybe kickoff Ohio State will be, less than a 3-point favorite or somewhere even a pick 'em. Who knows? But what's your early vibe on that game?
Early vibe would be just, like you said, very loose, no real hard X's and O's. But just that's going to be one of those games where the hype is all going to be around Texas. Because Texas is going to be ranked probably, there's going to be a lot of outlets that are going to rank Ohio State number one just because of the champion until you get beat and it's Ohio State kind of thing. But Texas is going to come in, like you said, if they come in as a favorite, that's the best thing that could happen to the Buckeyes. And out of all the big programs that have a massive sort of, complex of, no one believes in us and nothing, us against the world sort of thing, us, Ohio against the world kind of stuff. That's Ohio State. So if you all of a sudden see that, Texas is getting all the respect, and this is where Arch Manning is going to win the Heisman, and, Texas is where they go and prove again that they're the top dog. And I think you're going to see an Ohio State team that kind of gets disrespected a little bit and all of a sudden rises up and rocks because it's still Ohio State. You're all full of five-star guys, too.
Are you in on Clemson being legit this season? Because I know Cade Klubnik has his truthers out there, his believers that are out there, but there's a lot of people that like that roster, Pete, right now and what they have going on. When you look at where Dabo is right now in 2025 and Cade Klubnik, are you in on the Clemson Tigers?
No, only because, again, this is not the same team, not the same program it was a few years ago. The ACC is just so that you can be, as long as you're just really good, you can beat Clemson and you can get to the college football playoff. But this is not the team that was the powerhouse of a few years ago. Klubnik is not Trevor Lawrence. They don't have the defensive linemen that they were an absolute factory for defensive tackles and pass rushers for a while. They don't have that. And while I do kind of think that there is something positive about the Dabo style of not going all in on the transfer portal because it's a different style. It says, hey, we're a family here. You don't have to look over your shoulder. Don't worry about making mistakes. We're here to develop and make you a better player. We're a family, blah, blah, blah. They also have been a deep threat receiver and a shutdown corner away from being really good over the last few years. And that's what the portal's for. And they're getting a couple guys, but not enough. A long-winded way of saying, yeah, they're the best team in the ACC, but maybe Miami's right there too.
All right, we didn't get Cinderella last year. It didn't even really come close, I guess, when you really look at it. But so give me your take on that. Could there be another one? Could there be you get the SMU, the Boise State. Give me a take on whether you feel there is a team outside the top 20 that might make a run at this, or outside the top 15.
First of all, I despise the term Cinderella because basically that means the whole Cinderella lesson is, if you're a 16-year-old hot blonde, the hot prince is going to like you. There's going to be guys who are going to dig you, and everything's going to be all right. But you got to look like that and have a nice voice and all that. So, to your point, I don't think we're ever going to get Cinderella. It's not the NCAA basketball tournament. You can't just get hot from three and end up in the Final Four and be good for a few games. You're not the talent level is just too hard, and that was sort of the thing about to a certain extent in the 14 playoff, where a team like TCU. Okay, that was the one big upset that we had in the 14 college football playoff era. Michigan State didn't come close against Alabama. Washington didn't come close against Bama. We never really saw that one. If it was a big upset, it was, massive on massive. It was Clemson just shutting down, almost shutting out. I think it did shut out Ohio State. But we never had – the one time we had the weird upset was TCU over Michigan, and all that meant is the next round – we got a bad game. And that's kind of always my thing with the NCAA tournament, too, is, you show me the Central Directional State beating Duke in the second round, and I'll show you an 85-45, Sweet 16 game. So you might get a upset. You might get a Boise State or a Tulane or, an SMU-type win in the first round. If everything breaks right, you're not going to see two of those. Real quickly, are you buying the Illinois hype? And what are the chances you would give them to actually take down Ohio State in mid-October in Champaign? It's hilarious. I also work on the Illinois On SI side, and I work with these guys. And it's funny. We were just talking about this. It is the program that can't have nice things. It's one of those that it does the least with the most. There's no reason Illinois can't be Missouri or Wisconsin or Iowa or now Indiana, because they have the recruiting base, they have the want to, they have the facilities, they have the parts, and every time they're overhyped, you look at them over the years, whether it was after the Sugar Bowl under Ron Turner, or when Ron Zook took them to the Rose Bowl, or any time else, and think, okay, this is when it all happens for Illinois. It really, really doesn't. So they're one of those teams that's going to be a tough out each and every week. They're going to be good, but in terms of being this year's Indiana out of the Big Ten, I don't think that's happening. I mean, again, think about it this way. USC is going to be a lot better. UCLA is going to be a lot better. Washington's a lot better. Indiana is coming back just as strong, if not stronger. So there's a lot of teams in the Big Ten in what's going to be a tougher conference this year. My man. Always enjoy it, Pete. Be well. We'll talk to you again soon. Anytime, guys. Thanks. Pete Futek, publisher, collegefootballnews.com, on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We come back with Tell the Truth. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We're known for three things: games, conversation, and common man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
This just in from the Lindsay Honda Newsroom. It's our big anniversary sale. 0% for up to 60 months has been extended on all new Hondas. Try the new 2025 CR-V LX all-wheel drive with 0% financing.
Lower your rate, lower your payment.
Save thousands on hundreds of new Hondas when you buy now.
With so many Hondas, why would you go anywhere else?
Shop the big, the beautiful Lindsay Honda now. Visit lindsayhonda.com for details.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Double your savings with Logan Services. Save up to $3,200 on a qualifying air conditioning and heating system and ask about tax credits up to $3,200. Call for your free estimate now. Logan Services.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
Let's be honest, we could all use a little vacation from the ordinary. But with Tim Hortons' new refreshers, you don't need to pack your bags. Just sip, relax, and enjoy your refreshing 16-ounce vacation. With tropical mango packed with real pineapple and mango pieces, and strawberry watermelon kiwi featuring real pieces of strawberry and kiwi. Also, try it with lemonade or coconut milk. A choose-your-own taste bud adventure. Head to Tim's for the new refreshers. Your 16-ounce vacation awaits, only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants.
Tita Green with Skip Mosick.
Join us Saturday. We'll be at the Ohio State Golf Club to talk some Buckeye golf with men's coach Jay Mosley and women's coach Lisa Strom.
Tita Green with Skip Mosick. Saturday mornings at 9 on The Fan.
I can't wait to meet her. Oh my gosh.
Put your hands together for new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar.
There she is! Woohoo! Yeah! It's full Dr. Pepper!
With sweet blackberry flavor!
Dr. Pepper Blackberry, I'm obsessed with your succulent taste. Please marry me!
No! Marry me! Marry me, or I'm gonna freak out!
Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's a pepper thing! Must be the love. Yeah, must be the love right now.
There's so much to love in Ohio because the heart-shaped state is the heart of adventure with 76 free state parks, amusement parks, ballparks, and more. The heart of opportunity with great jobs and a low cost of living. Ohio is the heart of it all. Follow your heart at ohio.org.
Sponsored by Tourism Ohio and aired by this station.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric, and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
All right, TLC, take us home, my man.
Okay.
What's going on over there?
Wake up. Dude, I got a million stuff. I hate... All right, I'll tell the truth. The truth is... The truth of the matter is... I hate the commercial break that leads into this segment because I have so many things to wrap up at the same time and then host a segment at the end.
Oh, God. Well, we could take...
Please cry for me, Maddie.
Maddie, we could give him the... We could give him the hook. And we could just take him off, take this off his plate.
We could bring in the closer.
He doesn't have to host this segment. Yeah. We could go to the bullpen. We could find somebody else to do it, or we can handle it ourselves and eat some innings. And then you can just water slide your way right out of here and have no problems.
Listen, we'll go bring CB back.
Problems.
We'll bring CB back. He can be our Mariano
what's he doing
Rivera.
over there? Macro data refinement, staring into a computer all day?
I think he's watching Love Island back there.
I think he is. I'm sure he is.
He can be our Emmanuel Clase and close this thing out if you need. You can be our 1 through 8 inning guy.
I think that you've worked here enough where you could probably delegate now that a couple of months in, you could say, listen, I've said this before, The one thing you don't want to say on a job interview, the first thing, or any time on a job interview.
How much?
How much time do I get off? Like, how much vacation do I get?
You were talking money. You're talking vacation. Okay.
I don't think that's like the one thing I would advise young people if you're in a, even if they hint at it, just don't say it in the interview.
I agree.
Don't bring up vacation time.
I think it's good counsel there out of you. Real quick, just because I'm seeing this out of the corner of my eye, it looks like Jose Ramirez is no longer in the game for the Guardians. So maybe that hit by pitch coming from Toronto.
He did run the bases.
Yeah, but he's not out there at third base, and they just showed the replay of him getting hit. So something to monitor there if you're a Guardians fan.
4 total hits in the entire game. You got guys getting plunked.
Well, they hit Vladimir Guerrero Jr. twice,
the
I believe.
Vladdy wagon.
And so they hit him twice, and they're like, we're coming after your guy, an eye for an eye.
Bybee hit him?
Yes, twice, I believe.
Intentionally?
I don't know. And so clearly Toronto took it that way. And they said, okay, if this is how you want to do business, we'll do that. And maybe, maybe it's just a one-game thing. He needs some rest the rest of the day, but something we'll monitor is Jose Ramirez.
So basically what the Guardians were saying to Toronto, you start running a respectable business, I won't have to come here and hassle you no more.
F around and find out.
All right, are you comfortable?
Fafo.
Did you have everything you need now? Are you comfortable?
I'm ready now. Thank you.
Okay,
so
we
can always eat a couple minutes of just to get you in a good frame of mind.
I like that. Thank you. I'm ready. I'm mentally prepared. And Rothman, I got to hear what the heck happened, how you committed some party foul at a wedding recently where you were underdressed.
It wasn't this was not.
Hey, Ice,
all right, I guess
just for the record, the first words were, it wasn't my fault.
It wasn't me. He's Shaggy right now. Come on, Shaggy. What do you got?
Go to a wedding. I get there, Chicago, and my cousin looks at me and goes, "You know it's black tie, right?" Well, how could I know? No, I don't know that. And then I start blaming my brother. Why wouldn't my brother tell me this? He's going to the same wedding.
Yeah.
Why would you leave that detail out?
Right.
Why make me look that foolish? I walk in there, I'm wearing a navy sport jacket and like a light green tie.
And you're that guy now.
You're that everyone's
guy.
in black and white.
You're looking like a Seahawks fan in there.
It wasn't quite that green, but... And I guess the invitation said formal, not black tie. It's black tie. It has to say black tie.
No question.
Formal is we just don't need you showing up without a tie.
Right.
But everyone's in black tie, so I guess they took it that way. So I text my brother, who isn't there yet, and I say, you know what I said.
Sure was.
Thanks. Way to screw me there.
Like, what, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
What is going on here? And he writes back, well... We're both in the same boat because I don't have one either.
And that had to make you feel better.
And I was like,
there we go.
Here we go.
At least
and
you
I was
weren't
like,
alone.
so it really was. So either we both screwed up,
right,
or the invitation wasn't quite detailed enough. Like formal doesn't mean.
I think it's the former.
Yeah, formal.
Yeah.
Just black tie. You put it on there.
Yeah,
black tie.
yeah, I agree.
There's a big difference
between winging it
and seeing what happens. And
yes.
Yes. Okay, that's what I did anyway.
Give me another Ed Edwards. Give me another one.
Bring gas.
That's to Barkley, right?
Tell him to come on, man.
Yeah.
Get on up here to Minnesota.
This is Barkley.
Some of these fools be getting women names put on them and they break up with them like damn idiots.
Don't even know what he said there. What did he mean?
Tattoos.
Like you,
some of these fools be getting women names put on them and they break up with them like damn idiots.
You know, you get like, Nikki or whatever tattooed on your neck or something.
So was he calling them? So tell the truth. Was he calling them idiots for breaking up with the girl that he had the name of the tattoo?
No, for getting the tattoos.
For getting that right. For
just getting the tattoo.
It's just way too permanent.
What are we doing? I agree.
It can't be getting a girlfriend's name tattooed on you.
No, I agree. Or boyfriend.
Yeah, that as well.
Either way.
And we'll wrap it up with this one. This is NBA draft related. So we talked about yesterday the whole Ace Bailey thing. He's trying to weasel his way to certain destinations and avoid other destinations.
Yeah.
Utah Jazz, I don't think were one of his preferred destinations, but he got drafted there anyway. So he was asked at the post-draft press conference, was kind of asked about this, and can anybody please translate what his answer means? Because I have no clue.
Ace, there was a lot of speculation, the buildup in your draft process. You know, you seem pretty happy to me to be going to Utah. What do you say to people that maybe just don't believe that?
I mean, I can control what I control, so how they feel. But to my team and me, me focusing on the basketball and them doing what they're doing, so it happens.
What the hell did that mean?
The end was weird. The beginning was fine. I could not follow it.
He
I
lost
agree.
me at the end, too. Didn't connect the dots there.
That's one of those that you need replayed and then.
Well, yeah, we don't have.
I don't know.
Yeah, I wish we had more time to dig in on that. But that was a head scratcher. And like you said, he's a Utah Jazz, and he'll have fun out there.
He's a Jazz
in the Rocky Mountains. Hey, if you miss anything from our show, don't worry. You can always catch up. Because wherever you get your podcast, all you have to do is type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3, we'll be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the podcast as well. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner and representative of the Rothman and Ice podcast. Coming up on Common Man and Timmy Too Hot with Panama 10.
And where are you guys going to be tomorrow?
We are going to be out on the road at the Westerville Fire Station at 400 West Main Street. I'm Ron Burgundy.
Bring your box fans. Bring your donations.
Bring it all. Bring us ice water, slushies, all of it.
We love you. Talk to you tomorrow. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Buckeye games have been airing on WBNS since before you were born and before your parents were born and before Abraham Lincoln was born. Trust me.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan.
Get ready to rock. Soft, that is. Nationwide Picnic with the Pops presents Yacht Rock Symphony, Saturday, June 28th, featuring all your favorite 70s and 80s super yacht rock hits on one stage with Ambrosia.
You're the biggest part of me.
Joined by John Ford Coley.
And I'd really love to see it tonight.
And Peter Beckett, the voice of Player. Don't miss this incredible night of hits, ending with a brilliant display of fireworks. June 28th at the Columbus Commons. For tickets, visit picnicwiththepops.com.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover's accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
The Peace Lily is so last year. Hey, has anyone worked with fiddlenecks?
Shelby's popular flower shop is in full bloom.
We just got a request for an arrangement that evokes air. Who's up for that challenge? No?
She needs to hire a floral designer to nip foliage faux pas in the bud.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our advanced matching helps find talented candidates so you can connect with them fast. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we're here to help keep you on the road so you can soak up all the summer fun. The road tunes.
Take me out to the ball game.
Hotel pools. Emergency ice cream stops. The sunscreen and bug spray everywhere. At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we're here for it all. So stop in for a quick oil change before you go. Only takes about 15 minutes. No appointment needed.
Matty Ice here. When I needed a new Chevy, I headed to McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. Right now, get up to $12,000 off MSRP on a 25 Silverado LD. They've got no market adjustments, no hidden costs, and sales managers are on the floor ready to help. That's been the McDaniel difference since 1916. They're just a short drive north off Route 23 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. McDaniel GM Superstore, where great deals meet a century of trust. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
That's our us. When dreams sunk in, that's our us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
That's our us. When dreams sunk in, that's our us.
Hi, I'm Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers.
And I'm his very overpaid celebrity endorser, Common Man. Bob, I heard somewhere, actually from you many, many times, that Worthington Jewelers is where Columbus gets engaged.
It's too bad you and Timmy can't engage the audience.
Good zing, Bob.
If you're thinking of popping the question, there's only one place to go.
Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington. WorthingtonJewelers.com. Tell them Common Man sent you.
Must be the love. Yeah, must be the love right now.
There's so much to love in Ohio because the heart-shaped state is the heart of adventure with 76 free state parks, amusement parks, ballparks, and more. The heart of opportunity with great jobs and a low cost of living. Ohio is the heart of it all. Follow your heart at ohio.org.
Sponsored by Tourism Ohio and aired by this station.